That's what's up. Let's go with the shit right there. Let's go with the shit right there. You already know it. What's up, chat? Someone in chat said Sonic Hero sucks. Well, I mean, if I only opened the chat up to people who said correct things, the chat will be damn near empty. So, what are we gonna do, eh? Anyway, you know how we're here. Let's talk about Frontiers and discuss footage, news, information, shit we weren't supposed to see in the demo. There's too much to make a video now, so we gotta go live naturally. So we're here to go through. You can see I got some tabs open. That's not even half the links I got. There's more links than that, but we're gonna meticulously go through the shit. Go through the Frontier shit and discuss why it's not perfect. I mean, sorry. I mean, say it's the best thing ever, so no one gets mad at me. My bad. Yo, Stevie G with a $5 donation said, "I'm looking forward to playing Green Hill again for the 27th time." Yeah, we're all ready to play Green Hill again. That's why we're here, right? You know, we love Green Hill so much. We want it in every game, like every single game. Corey Moody donated $1.99. Said, "Sup, friend? Sup, Corey? Thank you for the support." But yeah. We're out here. Ready to dissect our Lord and Savior. But where are we starting from? Oh yeah, the physics thing. We gotta go through that. We gotta discuss the physics shit. That shit's important. So as you remember, I did a community post talking about this. It was the physics. The customizable physics that were mentioned before by, was it Game Informer? We got some image and then later on we got footage of it. So we can see here, it says initial boost speed, turning speed, boost turning speed, top speed, and then steering sensitivity. And then if you look at the footage, it goes even more in depth. You see everything. Yo, Unleashed donated £2. Said, "Can't wait for 4 Green Hill stages and Frontiers." Yeah, I mean, that's not even my biggest beef of the game, honestly. That's not my biggest. Rehashing level themes is annoying, but it's not my biggest beef of the game. It's automation and, oh yeah, reuse level design is annoying as well, but like automation, lack of challenge, you know, all of that is a bigger issue in my opinion. But yeah, if we go through the physics here, let me turn this down a bit. Actually, I don't even know. It might be quiet for you guys. It's loud for me. Anyway, if you look at the physics here, so you got all the training during loading game over notifications, difficulty, which they've put on easy for some reason. So you got starting speed. You know about that one. So I'm guessing that's the speed you start before you accelerate, I'm guessing. And then initial boost speed is like, I guess the moment you start boosting. Turning speed. So I'm guessing if you turn the turning speed up, then you turn faster. It's more sensitive. If you turn it down, you got a slower arc to turn. So it'd be more like that. Yo, Marshall, the 199. I actually personally prefer this style of delivering news. A lot more fun, a lot more personal, if that makes any sense. I mean, yeah, it's definitely more personal, but obviously a lot of people just want the news quick. They don't want to hear too much opinions and rambling. So the video format benefits them. My name's Noah, donated $5 and said, while I don't mind Green Hill in the game, I just wish they did something different with it. Yeah, I mean, you know, the Green Hill thing, I've already been mad at that with Forces, so I've kind of gotten over that. I kind of expect it now. But there's bigger issues. That's why it's so hard to focus on the Green Hill thing, because there's bigger issues at play. I find it funny how they couldn't get the controls right, so they just let you do it. I mean, I think it's a good thing, honestly, because they don't know what the right controls are. At the end of the day, Sonic Bro donated $1 and said, so we're just going to keep ignoring that 80% of the people who've actually played Frontiers have had positive things to say, including Sonic sites. I mean, look, critics had positive things to say about Sonic 4 Episode 1, and the classic fans didn't like the game. My point is this, okay? Like, let's go back and check this shit, okay? Sonic 4 Episode 1, look at the Wii version of the game. That hits an 81 on Metacritic, okay? 81. They threw some nostalgia in their face, poor control, and critics ate it up. And the fans were like, no. I'm not saying that fans won't like Frontiers. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people who appreciate less automation, who appreciate momentum, who are not going to like Frontiers as much. But I think the casual market who just see, ooh, an open world game and it's fast because it's Sonic, I think casuals will like Frontiers. I'm putting this on record right now. Casuals will fuck with Frontiers. These focus tests they were doing, they weren't getting hardcore fans who care about the meticulousness of the physics. They were getting casuals, okay? It's as simple as that. Some hardcore fans will like it. I'm not gonna deny that. I'm just saying there's a lot of hardcore fans who will not be in love with Frontiers. But the casual market, they're not as picky with the details. Okay. Platinum G donated $5, said, yo, I'm glad to see you got your voice back. Hope you're feeling well. Also, thanks for referencing my comment in your recent video. I did? I must have forgotten. Thank you for the donation. My voice isn't fully recovered. It's more like 90%, something like that. But yeah, it's basically almost there. I still can't like do high pitched shit. Like I can't like woo. I can't do that. But you know, Marshall 143 the $1.99 said critics and journalists also said the cyberspace were the highlight of the game. So yeah, I ain't taking their word for it. I mean, that's another thing as well. People were going on about the cyberspace as the highlight back when the open world looked mid in June with the initial reveal. And then now that the cyberspace is looking rehashed, people are like, oh, well, the open world's the main thing. So the cyberspace is like a special stage. I'm like, so you just move the goalpost then, or however it sounds fit. Stevie D donated $10 and said, people really complaining on Twitter about rehash levels, then getting excited for that City Escape level chunk that was shown yesterday. Isn't that basically being part of the problem? Well, there's two sides to that. One, yes, it is part of the problem because too much nostalgia is bad. But at the same time, if you're going to be nostalgic, shouldn't you be taking things that haven't been taken a million times, right? Like, if you're gonna bring back old stages, like every new Mario Kart, they bring back retro tracks. The goal is to not always bring back the same retro tracks. You're supposed to be like, okay, we haven't picked that track in a while. Let's pick that one now. You know, we haven't had Waluigi Pinball in a few games. Let's bring back Waluigi Pinball. Makes sense, right? But if every single game you bring back the same tracks, it could become a bit played out. Unless you're bringing everything, in which case it's just more content, right? But yeah, I mean, there's a few exceptions. Like SNES Rainbow Road should be in every Mario Kart from now on. I've decreed that. N64 Rainbow Road as well. You know, those they just have to keep copying. I'm sorry. Those are like standard now, okay? They can't make Mario Kart 9 without SNES Rainbow Road. Anyway, the point is that if they take something obscure, it's a bit more respectable than just like, oh, it's Green Hill again. Oh, it's Green Hill again. Oh, it's Chemical Plant. You know, it's like, how many times? Because we weren't mad when they brought back Green Hill and Generations. It was like, it's gens. Like, it's time, right? City Escape, how many times has that been brought back? Once? Even still, there's better levels in SA2 you could bring back for Frontiers. I wouldn't have minded seeing a crazy gadget. That would have been cool, right? You know, bringing back City Escape and expecting me to start clapping, right? You know, even if it was Heroes, like, don't bring back Seaside Hill again. Seaside Hill became like the Green Hill of the spin-off games for a couple years. Like, every spin-off had like Seaside Hill in it. But if you brought like Egg Fleet, it's like, okay, that's an obscure one. They haven't brought that back in a while, and that was an epic level. Obviously, if they brought back Egg Fleet in Frontiers, it wouldn't be as good as the Heroes version. But, I mean, that's an impossible feat to match, so I wouldn't blame them for that. Bringing back Crazy Gadget would have required effort because you got the gravity mechanic. Oh, of course. Yeah. But, yeah, what was the point I was mentioning before? Sonic 4 Episode 1 did well on Wii. Critics loved it. Fans were like, eh. With Frontiers, there's going to be a lot of fans who are going to love it simply because it's a more ambitious game in terms of the size. Like 30 hours they're saying it will take to beat. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they're saying. And on top of that, the sheer fact that it will be better than Forces, that in and of itself is enough for a lot of fans, especially fans who've been fans only since the meta era, fans who their first hearing of Sonic's voice was Roger, probably in colors. For those fans, Frontiers is gonna be like some pinnacle shit to them, because like, what the fuck else can compete with Frontiers in the meta era? Just Generations, that's it. Maybe Colors. I don't know if I prefer Colors to Frontiers. I mean, the Act 1s in Colors are solid, but there's plenty of acts in Colors that I don't like replaying. Frontiers is open world. Cyberspace is rehashing level design, but it's rehashing level design from better games, I guess. So Frontiers might even be more enjoyable than Colors. I don't know. I'm just saying, aside from gens, when it comes to the meta era, competition is slim. So for Frontiers to potentially be the best 3D Sonic since gens is 11 years ago. That's a long time. Someone who's a Sonic fan who's 16, they were 5 when gens came out. So for Frontiers to be the best thing since they were 5, of course they're gonna suck its dick. You know, like, it's natural, okay? I wouldn't blame them at the end of the day. But yeah, people that value that momentum and stuff like that, it's gonna be a lot harder for us. Theranos donated $2. Why is your username Theranos? But that TV show is lit though. Adventure 2 fans are never happy. I mean, a lot of fans are never happy because a lot of fans don't get catered to. There's so many categories of fans. You know, at the end of the day, why would Adventure 2 fans be happy, right? You know, they ain't got no Child Garden, they ain't got no Rail Momentum. Well, actually, speaking of Rail Momentum, there was a clip that I saw that kind of seemed like there was some Rail Momentum there. Like, maybe, I don't know if they added this in after Backlash or it was always there, but I saw this clip and I was like, you know what? I gotta hand it to them. I mean, it's not perfect. I still think they have that thing where even if you put in no speed, it will still push you forward, which I don't like. But they have got decent momentum on the rails here. Marshall 143.1099 has said, the open world looks bland, generic, devoid of style, looks absolutely boring to explore. The combat looks way too simplistic and repetitive. In my opinion, the rehashing and crapple level design of Cyberspace is the least of this game's problems. Well, I mean, that's kind of what I was saying. Not exactly, but my point was that the open world has its own issues, right? The lack of engaging platforming that I've seen so far in the open world, it's like, what am I doing here? Like, I think the combat looks alright. I'm not like too fussed about that. I'm not a combat junkie, but it looks fine to me. But the puzzles look really basic, and Sonic's supposed to be a platformer, and yet in the open world I haven't seen any platforming that made me go, oh my god, this is some sick platforming, like, this is gonna be crazy. I haven't seen that yet. But on the topic of the rails, there's a little section here that really looked good for the rails. I don't know if they did this later on after Backlash, or it was always like that, because they have that pushing you forward thing when you're not getting enough speed. Well, that was in the previous footage. So if you look here though, the rails look good. So you see how he speeds up when going down, slows down when going up, then goes through the loop and speeds up again and slows down again. That looked solid. Like, I can't fault them on that. Now, I don't know if it was always like that again, but I'm guessing they wouldn't have let you stop here, because in regular realm momentum, like say if it was SA2, this guy wasn't boosting here, so it's possible that he wouldn't have even made it through the loop in a game like that. Like, they would have, like, you would have pushed back. But here, they still made it through because there's like a baseline speed that they implement so that you could never be stuck. It's a handicap they put on the rails. So while the momentum is there, they've still got that handicap, which prevents it from being like, you know, perfect. But, you know, it's better than nothing at least, right? Because if you compare it to the rails and collars, the rails and collars were not this smooth, okay? The rails and collars were not this smooth. So Kishimoto's learned something, at least. But yeah. Yeah, you slow down, but you're still forced to go forward. You've got a baseline speed, unfortunately, but it's not as bad as the one in colors, which, let me go and find the one in colors. I can't, there was a video where I made a clip in one of my videos. I can't even remember which video it was, but it was one of the, I don't know. There was a video where I had a skit in there, kind of like a skit, and I talked about the rail thing, but I can't seem to remember which video it was. Was it this one? Alright, so we just... Nope, it wasn't that. Let me see. No, that's just Kishimoto being Kishimoto. Bro. Let me not play that. Let me not play that clip, because that will get me annoyed. Was it this one? Oh, yep, it was this one. I played a clip from Colors. Yeah, so in a Kishimoto game, this would never happen. You would never stop. It would just let you go forward because it doesn't want you to struggle. So here, again, it keeps you forward. So like, again, Unleashed. And again, I don't want to dwell on this because we've already done this thing before, but I'm just explaining my point that it will stop you. Generations as well would stop you. But then you go to Colors, and then it doesn't matter how slow you're going, it will always let you keep moving forward. You don't even speed up when going down here. So in a way, Frontier's rails are better than the rails in Colors. The Frontier's rails have shown better momentum than the ones in Colors. Because realistically, you would slow down here, or at least you would speed up when the rail starts to slant downwards. But here, you still maintain the same baseline speed, which makes this some of the worst rails in the series, honestly. But yeah, that was the point I was trying to make. Not to rag on Colors before he would get mad at me. I was just making a point. Oh yeah, and then here, it just pushes you forward if you're not going fast enough, so that you don't mess up on the loop. But anyway. I'm not using Colors as a judge of quality, so I was making a point comparing Kishimoto's games. Anyway, where were we? We were going through physics. Alright, so starting speed, initial boost speed. So I'm guessing the moment you boost, how fast you go. Turning speed is like the arc. So slower turning speed means you're gonna turn like a tank, like that. Faster turning speed means it's gonna be more like 06, where you can turn on a dime. Even SA2, you can pretty much turn on a dime. And then boost turning speed, the same thing, but when you're boosting, right? Some people might want it to be stiffer when they boost, not as precise when they boost. I don't know. And then you got top speed, which I don't know why that's at the bottom. They say adjustments may not reflect upgrades, but yeah, you can set your top speed. And then steering sensitivity. So I guess how much, again, like the 06 thing, like how much do you have to tilt the analog to move, essentially? Do you want it to be like a full movement, or do you want precise movement? Personally, I like more precise-ish movement. And then acceleration, that's an obvious one. How long it takes you to get faster. And then how high you bounce, that's a pretty interesting one. And then you got camera speed, and then the ability to invert the axes. This is very interesting, okay? I wish I could test this on the demo, but the thing about this is There's so many options here. You could probably spend an hour just testing different combinations to get the right one. Like playing around with each setting and just testing it on things. You know, there's so much going for this. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that the physics are going to be amazing just because you've got options. Only testing will find that out. But it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I do say so myself. Alright. So we got a lot of clips to go. I'm actually overwhelmed with the amount of clips you got to go through because I don't even know what to watch first. And there's going to be some like overlap and shit like that. I think what we'll do, I don't know, what's chat saying? Do you want to go through the all cyberspace levels so far, but that's not including the city level. Wait, that's not including the 3D city level, but we could go through this one, or we could go through one of the like just open world, just the general demo. Yo, what's up, Beats? 15-minute gameplay, so I'm gonna have to do a poll at this rate. Alright. I might just do a poll. Cyberspace or open world? Let me do a poll. Ugh. What should we view first? Cyberspace video, full demo video. Right. Let's do that. Alright, what are we saying? Alright, I'm not logged in to premydaremy. Oh, it's actually pretty close. Surprisingly close. Well, I'll give it a few seconds to see if it tips the other way. Otherwise. Alright, we're going with cyberspace then. Yeah. That's it. Alright, so we're gonna go with Beats' video. Beats has stabilized the footage because the footage is all over the place. Put on 1080p. Oh, he's added Lost Valley music. Ugh. Lost Valley. I mean, I guess it's fitting, but like. Alright, so this is the one that bites Modern Green Hill, right? I don't even remember. People finding level design similarities everywhere. I don't know what it is about this Forces inspired control. It just feels so wrong. Like jumping on these platforms feels so all over the place. Like Jen's control wasn't perfect, but it definitely fit the levels for the most part. But I guess it depends because you got customizable physics, so you know. And then if you guys remember, there was a thing. And this thing, where's the video where I talked about the thing? I think it was this video. I'm trying to find the tweet. Alright, so I'm trying to find the tweet. Is it this one? Yeah, the controls. Yeah, you see the drift, which apparently is not D-pad down because 100 people in my comment section corrected me, you know, but even though everyone had already corrected me, people were still correcting me. But the drift apparently is on the analog stick. It's on the left thumbstick. But you can only use it in cyberspace stages with the drift dash panel. So the drift, even though they're copying Generation's level design, they've put the drift in a situation where you can only use it in designated sections. Which again, Kishimoto did this with colors, and it was annoying then, and it's annoying now. Why can't I just drift where I want to drift? But yeah, and you've kind of got that air dash thing, which is not as OP as the Forces one, it seems. And then they tell you how enemies work. But I don't know. And another thing I've noticed, and this is related to Forces as well, comparing like say Forces to like Unleashed Generations. Why the fuck Sonic so small in the environments? Like if you look at like the size of Sonic in this world and then compare it to like modern Green Hill, like if we go to modern Green Hill right now, so it's like they copy the level design, but then Sonic looks tiny and it affects the whole perception of the stage. Like we go to modern Green Hill and you look at the size of Sonic relative to the size of the level. Like look at his size here. And then you go back to like here and he's tiny. Like, I don't know if it's camera tricks, but like he just looks tiny. Like, look at Sonic standing on these little checkerboards here. And then compare it to Sonic standing on checkerboards here. I don't know. Maybe it's a perception thing, but it feels different. I don't know. And I felt that way in Forces as well. But yeah, he took about 1 minute, 12 seconds to do that, but clearly that could have been done a lot faster. He was being a bit slow. I like the results screen though. I like the S rank logo. It's a nice looking logo. But I don't know why the times all say 99.59. I would assume that they would give you the time you need to get the S rank, right? Like in Lost World, they'll tell you like, get this time to get the S rank or get this time to get the A. So I don't know why the times all say 99.59. Someone said if momentum isn't in the game, would that ruin the whole game for you? I don't know how to. I made a really good video explaining this properly. I'll put it in the chat right now because I don't think I could explain it better than I did in that video. But like I really delve into it there. But if you want the summary, no, but it's important, right? Can't you adjust the camera in Frontiers to make Sonic bigger on the screen? Well, camera adjusting doesn't necessarily mean you can zoom in and out. Not all cameras allow you to do that. It could just be camera control. I don't know if you can do that. But it's not just like, it's not just the perception. It's the size of Sonic relative to the world. Alright, so we've got Sky Sanctuary now. So they missed the orange rings. Like every stage has its own different playthrough depending on what physics settings you use. We don't know what settings people are using. Because even before we are noticing different controls based on the gameplay we're watching. Like Sonic will turn smoothly in one place and then turn less smoothly in other places. It was just different footage, probably with different settings enabled. But yeah, again, there's nothing inherently horrible about the level design. It's just, it just feels a bit basic. And maybe that's just the boost in general being played out over so much time. Because like the boost hasn't really evolved, right? Most people would argue that it peaked in Generations, Unleashed as well, if you include some of the later levels. So the fact that this is still not above that level can be seen as annoying, right? Because if you've been doing the boost for so long, you would think eventually you'd get to the point where it's like, okay, we've made it better now. I don't know how to make the boost better. I'm not an expert, right? But like gameplay is supposed to evolve. That's just the way I see it, right? You know, I think the best boost levels are a combination of what was in Unleashed and Generations. Like, I would have kept the QTE panels in Unleashed and the QTE ramps in Unleashed. I would have kept the platforming in Generations, the challenge and the level length of Unleashed, things like that. But I don't know. It feels like they just regressed when it comes to boost. Marshall donated $1.99. Said if this is the highlight of the game, I dread to think what the actual open world is gonna be like. Yeah, I mean, critics say, or critics or casuals saying that the highlight is Cyberspace. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they don't remember these levels so much, so they're not as annoyed of the reuse. So maybe that's why it's a highlight. I can see how it would bother people who are more aware of the levels being used. Like with Sonic Mania, everyone knows the Act 1s of all the old zones was straight level design rehashes of the Act 1 and 2s from the original games. But the Act 2s had original level design. And that's why the Act 2s were usually better than the Act 1s, right? Green Hill Act 2 and Mania was better than Green Hill Act 1. Flying Battery Act 2 was the best level in the game. What else? I can't even remember all the old times. Unleashed donated £5 and said, an issue with Frontier Cyberspace is the physics are different, slower, so it won't work and feel the same as previous game. This is another thing I've said, like, you know, it's like if you try and port a Sonic Heroes level into SA1, it will feel wrong, because Heroes was designed to go really fast and have very high acceleration. So Heroes had a lot of long stretches of land that were designed for Sonic's really fast, high acceleration speed. Put that in SA1, which is slower in its movement, it won't feel right. So I think there was a mod, the stage mod that ported, was it Hero Stages into SA1, and you could feel it, you know. So you go and take level design from Generations Unleashed and say, well, they're Generations Unleashed levels. That means Frontiers is good because they ripped it straight from good level design. But it's like Frontiers doesn't feel the same as those games. So levels that would have felt right in Unleashed or Generations are not necessarily going to feel right in Frontiers. You know, you got to assess what the control of the physics is like in Frontiers and design levels around that are actually good. But, you know. God, potato. Holy fuck. So this is the city level. Straight to 2D. Is this taken from a previous Sonic game, this level design? Because this is some basic level design. It's like, I don't know, Booster's just not evolved. Booster's not evolved in a positive way. It's like nothing is being done here that we haven't seen before, right? Which is why I guess in their case they would want the open world to be the focus, because that's like the new thing. That's like okay, we've done boost levels before, we've done adventure style levels before, but the open world is somewhat new to Sonic. So if that's the highlight of the game, then that makes sense. But then the problem is they missed out on making the open world as good as it could have been, because the level design in the open world seems pretty basic. Yo, Liam Jones Smith has been a member for 2 months. Thank you for the support. He said thank you for the support. Lonely Gomer says, to be honest, most of the people playing suck. It's possible they just aren't familiar with Sonic though, so it can't be too harsh. Yeah, but them sucking is not enough to, like, I can tell when someone is sucking at a game, right? Like, especially a Sonic game. Like, obviously, if some game I'm not good at, I might not know, but that's not, like, from what I've seen of the open world, aside from the combat, nothing else seems stimulating. This is my honest opinion. Graphically, very beautiful. I've said that before. Visually, the game looks beautiful. I think I was even watching Sam's stream, and someone in the stream said that, like, in the puzzles, you know those little puzzles where you have to step on the colored squares to beat the puzzle? Someone said, what if they hid the lit up squares so you had to memorize what the squares were? Something as little as that would make the puzzle more engaging than you can see the squares and you just run in, you know, whatever direction and then it unlocks, right? Just the simple fact of having to memorize it, a little thing like that would have made the puzzle harder. Now, some people will be on the copium and be like, oh, but maybe the later islands will make harder puzzles. And I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying that, you know, even still, for a first island, those are some pretty basic ass puzzles. The combat is the only thing that seems somewhat engaging. Puzzles seem basic. The platforming that we've seen so far in the open world seems very basic. It's not some momentum, bounce off of this, use this incline to get up there. I haven't seen anything in the open world that makes me go, oh my god, this is crazy. So I guess all that's left is finding things, like searching for collectibles. I don't know. But that smoking gun is Sonic as a platformer. So the platforming needs to be solid. Otherwise, it's missing something very key. So for me, it's like when people say the open world's the focus, cyberspace is just a side thing as an excuse. It's like, okay, well, if open world's the focus, then open world's got its own issues as well. So, you know, what's your point? What was that? Did he just run up there? Was there a dash panel there that took him back up? How did he just speed up like that? Was that a boost? Okay, he boosted. Okay, fine. It was a boost. I was wondering what that was. I couldn't see it properly. I mean, the potato quality. Why is this guy going back up instead of going forward? Too scared of the bottomless pit? Alright, hits the rail. What's all that shit? What's all that gooey shit? Cyberspace glitches or whatever? Yeah. I mean, it's a level. It's a level. Like, I mean, it's a level. Again, it's yo, Liam John Smith on a $1.99 and said, imagine Sonic Adventure remakes for SA3 without Izuka. I mean, it's not as easy to say, oh, without Izuka, because you need the right people. It's not as simple as, oh, we'll just remove Izuka and all our problems will be solved. I don't think that's the thing that will fix everything, right? But I wouldn't trust Sonic Team right now with Adventure remakes, not at all. Because they don't understand why we like the games. The way Izuka talks about Adventure remakes is, in his mind, is tons of things that he wants to go and fix. And I feel like when he says fix, he means automate. He will take things that weren't automated and make them more automated so they won't glitch out. It'll be more stable for the casuals. But that freedom that you had in SA1 will be gone, right? You won't be spin dashing up no rocks in Emerald Coast. You won't be doing any of that shit. You won't be taking no crazy shortcuts. You'll be putting splines and shit. And I just feel like it will hamper, you know, the quality of the remakes. Lonely Goodman said, to be honest, I suspect 90% of people playing would never even know the reason of layouts. Not saying that justifies it, but it's like the case. Yeah, I said that in my video. I said the reason why they're doing it is because hardcore Sonic fans will complain and still buy it. And I'm part of the problem there. And casuals won't even recognize the level layouts. So it's like, okay, well, win-win. Everyone's still going to buy the game, right? At the end of the day. So I know as a business why they would do it. It doesn't change the fact that it sucks, but I'm aware that they know they can get away with it because they've been reusing Green Hill for like how many years now? And Sonic fans on Twitter are still defending it. So if they can reuse level layouts a million fucking times and get away with it, eventually they're gonna go, what if we just take the level design from those old games? You know? We go away with the level layouts, why not get away with the level design? Like, and then next they'll just be give you the whole game again and make you buy it again. Well, that's just a re-release, but you know. Someone said, but Izuka was involved with the adventure games. Izuka being involved with the adventure games doesn't mean that his remakes are going to be perfect remakes, okay? You know, that's like getting your favorite artist to re-record a song they made 20 years ago and expecting it to sound as good as it did 20 years ago. Like, the energy they had when they recorded it, they were younger, they were different, you know, they gotta recreate the beat. Like, it's not the same, okay? If you listen to Rough Riders Anthem, the original version, versus Rough Riders Anthem, the re-recorded version, just because it's still DMX don't make it the same song. The energy not the same, okay? Izuka making it then, with the technology they had then, with the ideas and philosophies he had then, versus a modern day where games are more automated for the most part, he's gonna automate the game more. It's as simple as that, you know? He's not gonna just copy it verbatim. Chemical Plant. They made this shit narrow. This is some Sonic Rivals type narrow shit right here. Alright. So this is the modern Chemical Plant level design, the 3-4 badniks. Do they have the rail in the middle of the road that you can hit and then... So usually you like... So you see, with Generations control, you would like smoothly drift on the corner and then you'd hit the ramp over there. But because Frontiers is built on that forces physics, it's just all over the place. Like, what was that? You copy the level design, you didn't copy the movement. Alright. It's like anyone who played Generations a lot is just gonna feel like this is an inferior version of Gens. Like, it's just so blatant. It's hard to just be hyped for that. You know, it's like I'm looking at this right now thinking you could just play the Gens version, and I'm sure graphically this version is gonna have some benefits. I don't deny that, but it does feel a bit like, why am I playing this version when Generations exists, kind of thing. Yo, Glitch X08 donated $5 and said, kind of disappointed in the lack of grounded options in general. No ground combos, no spin dash. They would add a lot of depth on their own. See, the problem with adding a spin dash is you can't get away with mid momentum if you add a spin dash. I mean, to be fair, Lost World got away with that, but you know, in general, if you put a spin dash there, people are gonna want to do spin dash jumps, and they're gonna notice the flaws of the momentum by putting a spin dash there. But ground combos, I mean, I thought there were ground combos. I don't know. I haven't really focused on the combat in a while, so I have to take a look at that. But what is that? Dude, go ahead, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then you just hit with a roadblock. You barely even saw that. Like, maybe if it was a 2D section, it'll make sense. You'd see it and then you jump over it. But this was just like, when do you even see that? I mean, I guess you got some time to react. Oh, okay. Missed the rainbow ring. Yo, me22 donated $5 and said, for me, they scaled the game camera very small in a way that only focused on the background but the main character, Sonic. Yeah, I mean, the camera thing is a bit weird. I don't know why it's so scaled back. Like, it feels really weird to me. But yeah, this is definitely modern chemical plant. But yeah, it doesn't feel as satisfying as just playing it in Generations. Because again, it's like modding a level into another Sonic game with different physics. It's never going to feel the same, right? And again, like, there's so many things missing. Like, you can't drift unless there's a designated section. The physics on this, you don't have the tight drift. The tricks don't seem to be there unless the person is not using them. There's so many things. Yo, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. Yon01 donated $10 and said, with how forces work with its boost and air control, you could do some crazy stuff to carve your own path through the level. I can easily see the same able to be done in Frontiers. No one has done it. I mean, Forces did have that OP air boost. But again, like, if they designed levels around that, that could have been cool. Like some crazy, like, platforming where you had to air boost over a bottomless pit or something. I don't know, like, take advantage of that. Like, Beat said, the fact they have to hit dash panels to drift is fucked. Why can't we drift when this is actually a level from Gens, you know? Again, like, people ask me why I love Sonic Heroes so much. Everything starts with the movement of the characters. The reason why Heroes is so important to me, you have 3 characters, all their own movements. And because they all got their own separate moves, you can design levels around the abilities of those 3 characters. If your character has limited abilities, then the levels are going to be basic to accommodate those limited abilities. All Sonic can do is double jump and air boost and homing attack. He can only drift in designated sections. I mean, I guess he might be able to do tricks, but it's just very limited in what he can do. And the levels reflect that, right? That's why everything feels so basic, you know? Like, in Spark, the Electro Jester 3, you can run across walls, right? So in the levels, you have sections where you can wall run. Lost World had that as well. Like, you had wall running sections. Lost World had a good amount of abilities. I mean, the physics were off, but Lost World had a good amount of abilities. Like, the parkour was a good ability, and you could see that the level design was unique in Lost World because they could take advantage of that parkour. Plenty of things in Lost World, if you were to take a Lost World level and mod it into, say, Forces, a lot of concessions would have to be made for the lack of parkour. So giving Sonic cool abilities allows him to do, or to create levels that are more interesting. Like, where's the light dashing sections? Like, light dash is an ability that should be used Momentum is an ability, like you could use that for level design. The bounce bracelet is an ability that you would use for level design. SA2 use the bounce bracelet. You know, all these things give you the ability to do more with the character, right? So here it's just, it feels so simplistic. Where are the quick step sections as well? Like they removed those from like generations. Like I don't know. Like there's so many things. Like Boost was never the most complex, but it felt way more intricate then than it does now. Oh, this is the Sunset Green Hill now. Yo, Bust C-Raz donated $5 and said, as special stages, these might be the best for Sonic special stages. I don't even agree with that. The Mania special stages were clearly better designed than what we're seeing in Cyberspace. I'll say the Mania special stages are better. I would say Sonic 4 Episode 2 special stages are more fun than what we've seen in Cyberspace. And yes, those are underrated special stages. I would say Sonic Rush's special stages are better than the Cyberspace levels. Those are very fun special stages as well. Like, I don't know. Like, the special stage thing seems like an excuse to be like, oh, it's allowed to be mid because it's just a special stage, right? And sure, you know, a special stage, you only play them once to get Chaos Emeralds. But Cyberspace, like, Heroes special stages are not my favorite, but you only need to play them once on a save file and you're done, right? But Cyberspace, you have to replay them for collectibles and additional things, you know, so how much are you going to put up with that? But yeah, you can see there is some momentum here. Like, you run up the incline, and he does go up. Alright. That air boost is super OP, though. Alright, goes up there. Hits the rail. Loop-de-loop. You know when you get that feeling like every level blends together? Like level design wise, nothing stands out. Like everything just feels like samey. I don't know how to put it. Well, this is the bottom Green Hill part where you stomp and go under. But they changed the bottom part, it seems. Well, that finished. Oh, this is an alternative run of the same level. But yeah, another reason why, not to gush over the GOAT again, but another reason why I love Heroes is because all the 7 areas had their own unique gimmicks that made them stand out. So, like, the Grand Metropolis area had the power running through the ground and shit, and then you defeat the enemies and it gets the ground moving. That was its thing. The first 2 levels, okay, actually, I don't know what the first 2 levels had. I mean, you had the moving ruins, you know, the introduction of the cannons, but yeah, those are the first 2 levels. The Grand Metropolis and Power Plant had the moving grounds and shit. The casino levels, obviously, you were playing pinball and bingo, and then the rail levels were heavily focused on the rails, you know, which was pretty intense, and all that. And then you had the Mystic levels, which had the switches, with the going upside down and whatnot. And then you had Egg Fleet and Final Fortress, which, well, those are just epic. I mean, what can I say? You had I think what made them unique was the moving from different ships and whatnot. But the point is that the levels don't just blend together in that sense, right? You get a lot of set pieces that make one level stand out from another, you know? Like, when you think of Dragon Road and Unleashed, right? You think of, like, those yellow spinning platforms and things like that. When you think of, you know, Jungle Joyride, you think of the water running, which was really cool in that level. You know, when you think of, I'm blanking out right now, but you want levels to feel like they stand out. If every level just feels like the same boost, jump through hoop, switch on rails for a few seconds, everything just starts to blend together. It's just like, I don't know, like, um, it's hard to put into words, right? Because like with the adventure formula, they ditched it after '06, right? '06 didn't do it perfectly, but they ran it from like 98 or 99 to '06, and then they haven't gone back to it since. Whereas Boost, since Rush, we've been doing Boost. That's 2005 for 2D, and then '08 when we start from Unleashed. And it's like in those 14 years, since say Generations, Boost has not evolved in any positive way. It's just regressed. I'm not saying the Boost itself needs to be killed. I'm just saying that how many times can you go through the same kind of levels, boosting, quick stepping, drifting, before it just starts to feel samey? That's the point I'm trying to make here. Like, what level design am I seeing here that I didn't already see in Forces? That I didn't already see in Colors? At least Colors had the whisk to switch things up, I guess. You know, Unleashed had the QTEs and in general just more challenging level design, and the fact that it was the first one in the main series, so it was fresh then. Generations had the Unleashed gameplay, but obviously with more emphasis on platforming and really cool Gens had some really cool shortcuts, like, you know, and was also more open in a lot of areas. But what is this doing that should stimulate someone who's already played Unleashed and Generations and seen those levels? What has been done here that makes me go, okay, the boost is improved in this way? Like, what have they done better? Right? It's very hard to, like, do you know what I mean? It's very hard to not feel like bored looking at this level design, which is why I didn't say it was bad. If you're a casual and you don't play Boost Sonic often, you might play this and get a thrill out of it. Okay, it's like, you know, when those franchises, you know, they be putting out games every year, they start to become so samey that it's like annoying to anyone who's been playing all the games. But anyone who's a casual who just picks up the latest one, it doesn't feel as samey to them because they were never playing all of the games like that. So it's like, it feels fresh to them. If you never played Unleashed or Generations, which, to be fair, if you're like, let's say you're a 13-year-old right now. That means you were born in 2009. Holy fuck. Right? Sonic movie came out 2020. You were like 10, 11. You became hooked on the franchise from then. You know, now they're dropping Frontiers. You're like, okay, I'm going to buy that, right? Mommy, daddy, buy me Frontiers. Unleashed was on PS3, which came out before you were born. Right? Same with Generations. Unleashed never got ported. I mean, I guess you got the Xbox Series X backwards compatibility, but who's really searching for old games? It's the people that grew up with them. It's not the people that didn't grow up on them, for the most part. So Unleashed, you probably didn't play. Generations, you probably didn't play, right? If you had a PS4, given that you're 13 right now, most likely you had a PS4, you played maybe Forces. Frontiers compared to Forces, this is going to feel like a step up, right? So my point is that the reason why they can get away, why I say can get away with this basic shit, is because there's enough people that just don't really remember when it was better. As simple as that. That's just how it is. Like, you played Colors Ultimate, you played Forces, maybe you played Origins as well to play the classics, and then now you've got this. I mean, it's very easy to see why Frontiers will probably not bomb from a review standpoint. Do you know what I mean? Like Rush in 05 had better level design than this. Like, if you go 2D to 2D, Rush in 2005 had way more engaging level design than this. Like, this is so basic. Also, Rush had great momentum as well. People underestimate the momentum physics in Rush because they're boosted all the time. But once you start getting into speedrunning some of those levels, don't mess with Rush. Rush bloated. It's just so oh my god, it's basic. Like, oh my, let me see if I can get some good high quality Sonic Rush footage. Like, just go back to the first Boost game in 2D. Let's compare 2D Boost to 2D Boost. 17 years since Rush. Let's go to Night Carnival right now. Like, and a thing that Rush did, as I said, the abilities of the character are very important. Rush always kept you busy because you were performing tricks. So even in sections where you're just going through like a scripted spring section, you're still doing tricks. You're trying to get as many tricks as possible to build up your boost meter and then get that finish. All of that is important. It keeps you engaged. You start the level, you go downhill, you build up speed. There's more slopes, inclines. You got the loop-de-loop right into the air. Then you got the swingy thing. That's unique. You don't see that in every level. You got the neon signs. Then you're onto the rails. You're building speed. You got the tricks, loops, downhill. Then you're performing tricks again. Then what's next? You hit the switch. Then you've got the light platform. You don't see that in every level. That's unique. That's not a thing that every boost level has got. And you keep going back to the swingy things. That's a special stage thing. Then what's next? Oh, you got this thing. This thing that flings you around. That could have easily just been a go into an orange hoop section or one spring takes you here. That could have just easily have been a spring over here and then the spring takes you right here. It could have easily been that. And then the level would have been more basic. But they were like, no, we'll put this random windy thing here that takes you there. And what makes it interesting is that it's based on momentum, right? So when you boost into it, you get in really fast. But if you don't have the boost and you just run into it, you will slow down and it won't be able to take you to the end, in which case you either fall to the bottom path, or if you're a bit more of a pro player, you jump off, do a jump dash, and you still make it to the platform. All of this is unique elements that make levels stand out, right? That could have just been a spring. That could have just been a ramp. They did something different there. Then you get here, then you got light rails. So you have the light platforms, now you got light rails. Oh shit, if you don't make it in time, then the light runs out and then you fall to your death or you fall to the lower platform. Oh, now I gotta be quick on those rails. Now that section's easy because that's the first one, but they got more of those. Then you got another light platform. You got your enemies, colorful rails, hit your ramp. Now look at this one. So this could have just been a regular spring, right? It could have just been a standard spring. But no, you build it, you hold down on it, it builds up, and the longer you hold down, the higher you go. So it's important to hold down the right amount of time to get as high as you need to get without wasting too much time on it, because obviously you want to go fast, right? Gotta go fast. Then you got the going upside down. You went back for the shield, really interesting, but okay. Then you got another light platform. And this one, if you know what to do, you can spin that, not spin it, you can boost jump and then get through it quicker. So obviously he's not doing that. You push that, hit the switch. Wow, that was a fumble. Anyway, run upside down. So this is an example of unique elements in levels. And you got the standard thing chasing you. That's a Sonic stage here at this point. But that's just kind of the point I was trying to make about unique elements. If we go to Huge Crisis, let's see what's in there. I know everyone wants to see Frontiers, but this is an important point I'm trying to make right now. It's an important point I'm trying to make on Boost becoming stale. Not because Boost must be tossed to the side, but these are the reasons. So this level, you have the pipes, right? You go in, it sucks you in. I mean, this was done in like, technically like chemical plant, but you know, they done it a little bit differently here. And then you get these little crane things that you grab onto and it spins you. Hit the ramp. Hit the rail. There's another thing I'm waiting for to show up that hasn't shown up yet. Enemy section. When I see it, you know. So even something little like that. So you hit the rail, right? And then at the end of the rail, you jump off, right? You leap off. And then you can use the trick to get up there. But if you're too slow, and then you fall down, you gotta do it the slow way. Little things like that are really nice additions. Alright. So you use it to get up there quickly as well. Alright, you got the traps. These traps are dangerous though. These shits used to kill me as a kid, not gonna lie. Not that one in particular, but... Right. I think we're getting to it now. So here you've got the rockets. So they put rockets here. So again, this is not a thing that's in every level. But in this zone, you got rockets. Right? It's just a cool little thing that, again, they could have just not put the rocket in. They could have skipped all this. This could have been a run-in section. And then you get here and then just hit a standard boost ramp. You know. But they put a rocket there. It didn't need to be there, but it was unique. And again, once you're good at the game and you know what you're doing, and you're on that time attack hustle, and you want to skip that 3-second wait, you can just jump over the rocket, boost, and then jump off the incline yourself and still make it to the end because, you know, it rewards you for taking that risk. Whether that was intended or not, I don't know, but it does reward you. And then you've got other examples like, what's the one I'm looking for? For those of you who don't know, this is my favorite 2D Sonic game, so like, you know, I'm kind of explaining why. But one of my favorite 2D Sonic levels ever is Deadline Act 2. So you start this level straight away, you get hit with this rocket. Like, the little things, right? Because like you had the rockets in like Adventure 1 and 2, but those were set path, you couldn't control them. They just moved in the direction you were done. Rush comes along and is like, you actually have to direct yourself in the rocket. That's cool. It's only in this zone. This isn't a every zone thing. It's a unique set piece for that zone. And then you got the cannons here. Again, unique to this zone. Then you got the gravity mechanic in this zone. So all these things make levels stand out. Like the Dragon Ball Rama donated $5 and said, how have we as a Sonic community gone to the point where we accept Ryu's level design? Sonic fans have developed some serious stuff on. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the older fans are not accepting it. I feel like, again, as I said before, those younger fans who have grown up in the meta era and are comparing Frontiers to what came out in the meta era, just being like, yo, well, compared to what we've gotten, this is a step up. Like, the only thing really comparing to Frontiers is probably gens, maybe colors, I don't know. But if you grew up in the era of Rise of Lyric and Lost World and Forces, Frontiers really does feel like some kind of step up. But another example of using elements, because I could gush over Rush for ages. I love Rush, you know, but let's go to Sonic Mania. And it's a perfect example. I feel like when they developed Sonic Mania, I feel like they knew they were being a bit cocky. The developers of Mania, in the back of their mind, they were like, we're going to show these people that we can do better than them. Because when they took the Act 1s, which just reused level design from the original games, the Act 2s came along and were usually always better, right? Like, if we look at, I don't actually remember all the zones right now because can't be bothered. But if we look at all these zones that are in Mania, let's check if I can find it. Yo, nobody donated $2 and said Cyberspace would be fun if the controls feel great. I mean, that's a big if. But yeah, if we look at the zones of Mania, wait, Lil Nitro donated $1.99 and said, to be totally honest, if we buy it, we accept it. It's true. It's true. I've said this before, that I've been basically a sucker and I've bought the games anyway, so I support them. The only Sonic game I didn't really buy, well, okay, Team Sonic Racing, they sent me a code, so I didn't buy that. Sonic Colors Ultimate, they sent me a code, so I didn't buy that. But I wasn't going to buy Colors Ultimate anyway because I wasn't supporting the Epic Games Store exclusive. I mean, I was willing to buy Colors Ultimate regardless of its quality, but I wasn't willing to buy it because it was on Epic. So I still kind of gave Sega a pass for the quality of the game. But it's true. If you buy it, you support it. It's true. I can't deny that. Just personally, as a Sonic tuber, I kind of feel guilty not buying the games because I cover them so much. I feel like, in a weird way, I feel like I'm obligated to. Because like, if you're going to make 50 videos talking about one game, and, you know, pay bills doing that, then the game costs like $60. At some point, it's like, I guess I should buy the game, you know? Like, but again, that's just my own personal feeling. If we look at the old zones in Mania, Green Hill Act 1 was inferior to Act 2. Act 2 had the fresh level design, the new elements, same with Chemical Plant. If we look at Chemical Plant, where's Chemical Plant? Act 1 was the standard one we got in the 90s, the standard level design. Still fun. I love Chemical Plant, right? I loved it back then. But then you go to Act 2 and they go, we're not just going to give you the same level design, but tweaked. We're not just going to give you another act of Chemical Plant. The moment you get there, you're like, okay, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Okay, now we're utilizing this to bounce. Now you could say it was inspired by Wacky Workbench, but the difference is this version is actually good. And then there's different levels of how much you compress it. That mechanic alone took what would have been just another act of Chemical Plant and turned it into something completely fresh and unique. Then they add this little purple thing which takes you up on the side. This could have easily just been a spring to take you up here, but then they do that little change there. Like, these things are what make levels interesting. Fresh things that stand out. Then you hit that, you jump off that, then you go into that DNA looking ass thing, and then that could have just, again, that could have just been a spring that just sprung you back up. That would have been boring. Yo, Jaden XV, 5 months of being the Sonic worshipper. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. But yeah, you have the DNA thing. Could have been a spring. And then standard enemies. And then you got this thing as well. That was pretty cool. But it just goes back into the pipes. And then here they let you direct the pipes, which they didn't let you do in the original, I believe. And then they have the sections where the loops go straight into the thing. But my point is, again, the Mania devs, when they did Act 2s, they actively said, how can we do something different instead of just, it looks like Chemical Plant and it's just more of the same. They did it with Chemical Plant, Green Hill, Flying Battery Act 2 had crazy mechanics in it. Like, it was crazy. What else was there? Stardust Speedway. I'm trying to remember what was in Act 2 because I haven't played it in a while. And then Hydrosity Act 2 was crazy. Even Act 1, because Act 1 didn't reuse as much level design. They started doing the whole bubble thing where you had to move around with the bubbles there. So that was very different. Oil Ocean, like Act 1 was just like the classics, but Act 2 added the submarine shit, so you were going under the water. You could use the elemental shields. They changed things up, right? I've made my point. Lonely Goomba, because I'm not like writing this down, it's hard to like see if people actually get what I'm saying. But like, okay, let's go back to this city level again. What here hasn't been done before? Everything just feels the same. Just boost, jump, hoop, obstacle. Where's the unique set piece? Where's the thing that, oh, that belongs to that level, all right? Do you know what I mean? It's just so samey. Like, I could change the aesthetic of this level to Sunset Green Hill and keep the exact same level design, and it would still fit. But you couldn't take the level design of Mystic Mansion and Heroes or Hang Castle and then just paste it onto Green Hill. Green Hill wouldn't have those switches with the flipping of gravity. Although gravity flipping Green Hill would be an interesting way to bring back Green Hill. But it stands out. You couldn't just take the level design of Egg Fleet and then just paste it onto the textures and aesthetic of Bingo Highway. The ships and all that, and the breaking and destruction of all the ships is what makes it Egg Fleet. Same with the Chemical Plant with the gooey shit in Act 2 where you bounced upon it. It was unique. Same with the light rails that fitted the Night Carnival in Sonic Rush. It was unique. The reason why, and people ask me like, why am I not calling Frontiers an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10? These are the things, right? It's this. It's just so there. Someone said maybe all the unique stuff is in the open world. The cyberspace stuff is just quickly made padding and a vehicle feature. Yeah, but that's the thing. What is unique in the open world? Like, again, what is unique in the open world that hasn't been done before? You know, That's why I said in my video that I linked before, which video was it? This video here, because Sonic Frontiers be fun good without momentum. That's why I said in that video that momentum was the thing, right? We've seen so many open world games before. The thing that would make Sonic stand out is not just, oh, he's fast. It's the momentum and the platforming based on it. An open world where you have to use spin dash jumps or whatever to make it to certain areas, that is unique. 06 gems, that shit's unique. Imagine some of those 06 gems would have gone so hard in the open world. Like, those abilities were OP in standard levels, especially because the gauge didn't deplete. But put those abilities in an open world, like the moon jumping ability, the remember the 06, the turquoise gem, the grappling hook thing, where you throw it at something and then you land there? Imagine that was in Frontiers. So you got platforms and shit, and you gotta like grappling hook your way to higher platforms to go and find some shit. That's what I mean by standing out, right? I'm not seeing that in the open world. You know what I mean? Ghost of Tsushima is just a better Assassin's Creed. That's cap. That's cap. Ghost of Tsushima is not better than Assassin's Creed. I mean, at least not better than the best ones. It's not better than Assassin's Creed 2. It's not better than Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima would have had better combat than Assassin's Creed 2, to be fair. AC2's combat wasn't that good. It was alright, it was possible, but nothing special. But as an overall game, Ghost of Tsushima was not better than AC2 or Brotherhood. Did I beat it? No, I got bored. Like, I actually paid for the game full price and I got bored and I didn't finish it. But there was a reason why I got bored. It wasn't as cool as Assassin's Creed. Justin only donated $4.99 and said, and anyone noticed the boost pads are different. They didn't want to put the same boost pad in there. They just put it in generations and such. I don't know if I noticed the different boost pad, but thank you for the donation. What, Jaden, I can still rate the game. I played it for several hours, okay? I'm not going to rate the whole game, but if it didn't grab me in several hours, I'm not going to say it's better than AC2, when AC2 grabbed me in, like, the first 15 minutes. You know? In fact, what are the reviews on that? Because I know Tsushima did really well. Apparently, they're working on a second one or something like that. Let me check that right now, actually. 83, 87, 87. Oh, that's director's cut. 83. It did get a 9.1, so the users definitely gave it a high score. But I think 82 definitely did better on critics, but I don't think it did as high on user score. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2. Yeah, that got a 91, but then user score was only 8.7. But yeah, AC2 wasn't perfect. Obviously, it came out like a decade before Tsushima, so it was more of a pioneer. Director's cut the better version. I would assume so, but yeah. I played the original version as Premy heard Roger's voice. I mean, I didn't play it on stream, but I have heard it. Actually, yeah, let's go through that because I've ripped on the gameplay for a bit now, so there was a tweet thread that had some audio recordings, and I think someone put it together. I think it was Beats. I've got like a ton of links that I'm looking at right now. Yeah, I'll play this one that Beats did. I think that's the, yeah. Is that the same one? Yeah, it's the same one. Ghost of Tsushima is better. I think the reason you like it is because you're not a fan of conventional open world games. Well, okay, what would you consider to be a more conventional open world game? I mean, it's not like I go around playing a million open world games, to be fair. Assassin's Creed admittedly was a different style of open world game because it was, in a way, a linear open world game. It told you where to go, which I think a lot of people like that. I think a lot of people like having the freedom to go where you want and still do like side quests and other things, but knowing where the main shit is, right? Compared to like later Assassin's Creed games like Origins, which you had to do more discovering. Jaden Rules 678. Jaden, is that your second account? Donated $1.99 and said, should Shadow be playable in Frontiers or others? Shadow plays just like Sonic for the most part, so they could just slap him in there and have him play in the game. You know, that'll be modded in, even if it doesn't get done officially. As for other characters, will the level design accommodate for that? I don't know. Valhalla bored you in the first 3 hours. I mean, I haven't been in love with Assassin's Creed since the Ezio trilogy, to be fair. So, but like, I'll ride for that Ezio trilogy, no doubt. Like, that shit was different. Okay, I'll forever defend that trilogy. But like the later stuff, I mean, I enjoyed some of the later stuff, but not as much. You know, I'm trying to remember why Tsushima bored me so much. I have to go back to my stream on Premulous non-Sonic channel, link in the description. Let me spam my non-Sonic channel while we're at it. But yeah, I have to go back to my Tsushima stream to see why I didn't love it as much. I mean, the combat was fine. I think what I didn't like was I liked how the Ezio trilogy was so much more focused on the going places, like the parkour and all that stuff, whereas Tsushima was just more just like a regular game. You just run on the ground, kind of ride a horse, that's it. That parkour was so freeing in Assassin's Creed. You felt like you could go anywhere. And when you take that away, all you're left with is just running and fighting, right? And some stealth as well, but I think that was a big one for me. Alright, let's see this cutscene. AC2 and Brothers were very linear open world games. Examples of conventional open world games like AC4, Horizon, Metal Gear Solid 5, and the Arkham game. But you see the problem there is you just listed a bunch of games that came out after AC2 and Brotherhood. Like, those, when you say they were linear, at the time, those were pretty serious open world games, right? It's only after they came out that they started making way less linear open world games. Because if you remember, GTA 3 came out, what, 2001? And that was considered a big open world game at the time. But that was a very linear game too. So that was what open world games were like. And then later games came out, like, I think Skyrim was a lot more open, but I haven't played it properly. But all those games you mentioned literally came out at a point when it was like, how can we make the biggest map that you can get lost in? Whereas before it was like, let's make a decent sized map and then still be somewhat linear in its progression, kind of. So to call that conventional open world, I don't know if that's what I would call conventional, but it's more like what's popular now, essentially.
Tails? Amy? Oh. Looks like I'm the only one who made it out of that. Whatever it was.
Man, Roger really regressed here. Maybe it's just the potato quality, but...
Looks like I'm the only one who made it out of that. Whatever it was.
Mortal.
Ugh! Hello?
You have done the impossible. You have escaped cyberspace.
Yeah, probably some sound isolation is affecting the sound quality of this. So I won't fully judge it, but...
You are the key.
Key, huh? Sure beats being called a rodent. Are you saying I can rescue my friends?
Yeah, that sounds really weird. It almost sounds a bit like Colors Roger when he was still trying to figure out the voice, but then still different from that.
Find the Chaos Sentinels. Destroy the Titans. Tear down the walls between dimensions.
Yeah, okay, sure. How about a little context? Hello?
Well, that line he sounded like his regular Roger self.
How about a little context? Hello?
Compared to like...
Tails? Amy?
Tear down the walls between dimensions.
Yeah, okay, sure. How about a little context? Hello?
Sage.
Oh well. Some direction is better than none. Here we go.
Eh, you know, it's Roger. If you like Roger's Sonic voice, you're gonna like it. If you don't like Roger's Sonic voice, you're not gonna like it. Simple as that. What can I say? Max Mittelman would have killed it.
Tails? Amy?
I don't know why everyone's asking for new voices when Jason Griffith's still alive and breathing. As far as I'm concerned, as long as Griffith's heart is still beating and his vocal cords are working, I don't need to be like, who could voice Sonic next? Figuring out new people that haven't done it already to go and start again. And take them like 2-3 games to figure it out. When Griffith's heart is still pumping blood. You know what I mean? Like, Marshall only $1.99. Absolutely, 82 pioneered the open world genre, but I and a lot of open world fans think it paved the way for many other great open world games. You're not a fan of the big open world games, and that's fine, but it was still improved. What 82 pioneered? I mean, whether it's an improvement or not, that's subjective. I would argue that, you know, because not everyone wants that kind of open world where you just kind of just lost. You know, I think there was an appeal in that linear open world. It's like the 2D to 3D transition, right? Not everyone's gonna remember this. I don't know how old you are, but like when 3D was like the new thing, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a time period where 2D was just seen as bad. It was seen as an inferior, old technology, and 3D was the future. Everyone's making 3D shit now. Everyone's trying to inject 3D into their shit. And it took probably until the late 2000s, maybe even early 2010s, especially with the indie game movement, for people to go, wait, hold on. 2D still has value. Yes, 3D is technologically more advanced. Just like these later open world games are doing way more shit than the smaller, more dense open worlds of before. But there was still merit in the old way. It's not to say pick one or the other. We want both, right? Like, Nintendo ditched 2D for years. And then New Super Mario Bros. DS came out. You know, obviously Super Mario Advance was just old games. When New Super Mario Bros. DS came out, and they said, actually, yes, we're making 3D games, but there's still demand for 2D. And if you check the, what's it called? The highest selling games of all time list, you will see that New Super Mario Bros. Is still up here. Somewhere. Yeah, New Super Mario Bros. DS, the first one. I remember how big this game was when it came out. I had a DS back then. It's still top 20 highest selling. Wii right below it. So it's like there's a period where people went, okay, if we can make the open worlds bigger and more expansive, we can get lost in them, then we can sell the game. Because a lot of these games, I remember like they'll be marketing these open world games and they'll be like, this is the size of the open world game you played before, and then this is the size of the new one. Therefore, better. And then it's like, yeah, it's bigger. I can't deny the technological advancements that have allowed you to make a bigger open world that's harder or easier to get lost in. Does that by default make it better? No. That doesn't mean it can't be better. I'm just saying that it's not by default better simply because it's bigger, right? Sometimes a condensed open world can have its own merit. So yeah, that's kind of the point I was trying to make, is it was an evolution of the genre and it's become the standard now, but I don't think there's anything wrong in preferring the way it was done before. I mean, yes, I did grow up with it that way, so there's going to be some bias, but, you know, what can I say? Prime explaining that bigger doesn't mean better, cough. Beats. What is this? Sonic Team intro for Frontiers? Let me see this shit. It's a nice little intro. A little bit more footage of the City Escape. So we calling it City Escape now? We settled on City Escape. They just put spikes there. I don't know how to put it into words, but I've never liked how loosey-goosey the movement was in Forces, which was also applying here. Like, you boost and then it's just like from side to side, like, you know what I mean? Like, Unleash Your Generations, I felt like when you boosted forward, you kind of, not to say you couldn't bounce to the side, but it wasn't as erratic as this. Alright. So they're destroying those little blue things. This person's just jumped to their death. Okay. You see. When I say this is why the casuals don't care about the momentum shit, this is why. This person, no offense to this person, I'm sure they're a nice person. This person was stuck on an incline with two forward arrows, but there was no dash panel to just get you up there. So they were stuck. This is what I mean when I say casuals will like Frontiers, because they're not doing too much of this, clearly. This, in an eventual one, you spin dash, you get your momentum, you go up. Here, you have to obviously boost up there. But even that was a problem. So when they make things automated, as annoyed as I get, I understand why they do it. Because a lot of people want the game to handhold them, right? Like, I was talking about how much I liked Spider-Man PS4 and the swinging and how fun it was. This is on the non-Sonic channel, by the way. And someone came and said, have you played the Spider-Man games on PS2? They made you build your own momentum. Like, you had to do that shit manually, right? And then I was like, I haven't played those old games because, you know, when it comes to Spider-Man games, I'm a bit of a pleb, right? I played the one on N64, and then I played PS4, and then Miles Morales. So I found a video where someone who was actually a fan of the games went and meticulously compared the old style of swinging in Spider-Man, where you had to build up your momentum, to the newer one where they Insomniac admitted to hand-holding you more, so that it was easier to swing through places, and if you messed up, it wouldn't be as embarrassing. And then I watched it as someone who didn't grow up with the momentum one. I'm like, you know what? I prefer the new one, right? I didn't grow up with that shit. It didn't bother me. And if I could feel that, then it's understandable why someone who didn't grow up in the adventure era, who didn't care about the whole momentum shit, just wants to go fast and have the game handhold them. It goes both ways, right? If it could happen to me with something I didn't grow up with like Spider-Man, then it could happen here. It's completely understandable, right? I'm not even trying to knock this person or knock people that don't care about momentum, because why should he be forced to care about something you don't care about? I'm just explaining my thought process. Sonic Bro donated $1 and said, Heroes fan complained about slippery movement. Ha ha ha, good one. Marshall143 donated $1.99 and said, there's definitely value in both linear and large open world games, because believe me, a lot of large open world games aren't like Valhalla and Hell Frontiers. A lot of them have actual meat on their bones. I guess, yeah, it's a matter of preference. Yeah, pretty much. It's a matter of preference. Like, I think personally, I would pick a smaller open world that's more dense. Like, if I could go into buildings and do shit, that's like more things I can do in that smaller world versus big, but everything is barren kind of thing. Obviously, if it's big and you can do shit, then that's the ultimate, right? But, you know, I still don't want to feel like I'm completely lost. I still want to feel like there's direction, like there's missions I could go to or whatever on the map. I don't want to be completely lost in it, but there's people that like that feeling of, what am I doing? I'm lost. Where am I going? You know, like when I tried to play Elden Ring and I'm just like, I'm just going to go straight to market because that's where the path took me. And then you're going to get cooked. And then you're like, realistically, instead of doing market 50 times and still losing, you're supposed to go somewhere else and do something else. But I'm just thinking in a linear mindset. Like, I've gone here, I found Margit, I need to defeat Margit, I can't defeat Margit, fuck. what am I doing? So again, if you're really into the getting lost thing, then obviously you prefer the bigger ones. It makes logical sense. Christian Bynes donated $5 and said, "I like the dialogue though. No cringe joke for now, at least. Do you see when Sonic saved Amy?" I think I showed that scene in a previous video. In terms of cringe dialogue, I mean, it's not super cringe, but there was definitely the little rodent joke. But, I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world for me. I just noticed it. Someone said, "Watch the video." Holy shit. If you don't want opinions, you can watch the video yourself, okay? Don't call me if you don't want me to speak. You're gonna love God of War 2018. Yeah, I will be streaming that on Premium. I did buy that on Steam, so I'm gonna stream it. I feel like I will enjoy it, but I did actually really like the PS2 one, even though I haven't finished it yet. I just didn't get around to finishing it, but I was having fun with it, even though it was kicking my ass. But yeah, where were we? Okay, yeah, struggling to go up basic incline that just involves boosting. Trying to jump up it, it's not working. Trying to air boost. Whoa, did you see that? Kishimoto just came in like, no, let me do that for you. Let me sort that out for you. We see you struggling. Let me just fucking slide up that shit. Oh, so they brought back the Generations poles. That's interesting. This is the exact ones for Generations, the same hard element, everything. Yeah, so they brought back the poles. Okay, so it's going on the rail. So he knows to boost on the rail, but so he's back on another incline. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna try boosting? What happened? How did he get saved there? So he went on that thing, and then what did he bounce off of? What was that? What was that? The game just put some invisible spring there and got him up. What was that? Kishimoto. So he gets to the second incline. And it just gets him up there. I don't think that was double jump, because look. So he jumps here. The way it was like it launched him up. It wasn't just a standard jump. Like, let's look at it again. That's a launch. That's not a standard just jump. He home and attacked. But onto what though? Oh, he attempted to home and attack onto the balloon. I think, because yeah, the radar shows up. So yeah, it's like an attempt at a home and attack that launches him up. And then once he gets up there, then he actually home and attacks onto the thing. Yeah, that. So if the game actually wanted to teach you how to do the momentum thing, you'd have to have some kind of tutorial level that mandatorily, if that's even a word, makes you boost up the incline so you know how it works. It will teach you the mechanics so that you use it, right? Because there's plenty of games, even Sonic games do this, where they don't teach you mechanics properly, and then you get to like a final level that involves using those mechanics, and you're like, well, I never really learned how to do them properly, so now I'm stuck. And this happens even in the Sonic games that I like, okay? Like, as a kid, I didn't know that once you get 3 level ups in Sonic, you could jump, dash, and spin on the pole. I mean, I did it as a kid. I just didn't know that you needed 3 level ups. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. It didn't tell me. So sometimes I'd have 2 level ups, and I'll try and jump dash onto the pole to swing on it. And then there'll be like a bottomless pit there, and I'll just fall to my death and get pissed. Like, why is it not working? Why is the thing bugged? Why is it not swinging on the pole? This is the game that I love, right? But that's how I used to think. And I don't know how long it took for me to realize that that move only works when you have 3 level ups. But they kind of at one point said that if you got more level ups, you got more abilities, but they never really specified that stirring up wind with a homing attack or a jump dash only works with 3 level ups. So you just have to figure that out on your own. A lot of old Sonic games are like that. They just didn't explain mechanics. A lot of people don't even know that you can break in the bobsled in Heroes. They mentioned it like once in the whole story, and you probably wouldn't even be paying attention because you're too busy playing, but it does happen. So all of these things, like, if they had explained the incline thing, like I don't want to assume the player is stupid. If they had explained it, then they would have done it properly. But they never explained it. They just put you there and expect you to know, because us old Sonic fans will know, but this casual is like sitting there trying to jump on a place where he should be momentuming, you know, or boosting up an incline. Yo! Yeah, fucking run it. I'm motherfucking Sonic. Rufix Legacy Productions with a $20 donation. Thank you for the support, man. Well, I don't know if you're a man, but, you know, thank you for the support. I firmly believe that the levels will be longer and more original as you progress through the game. With almost 6 years of development, I don't think the devs are that foolish to implement inferior stages in past games. I wouldn't call it foolish. I see it more as complacent. They know they can get away with it. And plus, the streets is saying that there could be more than 7 cyberspace levels per island. And there being more levels per island. They already confirmed 5 islands, right? Let me see if I can find the tweet that mentions that. I don't know if I can, where I might have put that. But they said, oh, that's a different clip. They said, I'm going to try and find it right now because I copied the link. So it's somewhere here. No, these are just the screenshots. Yeah, 1-7. They confirmed that this level is 1-7. Which already confirms at least 7 cyberspace levels per island. But then this same person came and said, where is it? Where is the link? There was a tweet where they mentioned it. Let me go through. I'll probably have to go through their Twitter and find it. But this person basically said that they suspected that, based on how much of the island they've gone through, it was probably like 10 or even more than that cyberspace levels per island. Which suggests that if there's going to be 10 per island, there's 5 islands, could it be like 50 cyberspace levels? Like, yeah, there was like regular Green Hill, Sunset Green Hill, all that. But if it's going to be like 50 levels, it justifies even more that they would be shorter. You know, or at least explains it more, makes it more believable that there'll be shorter levels for the whole game, right? Like, critics are calling them bite size, right? So, you know, unlike Unleashed, which had way less levels, but they were longer, you know. And there were short levels as well on Unleashed, but they were like the optional bonus levels kind of thing. But the main levels were longer. Even Generations, the main levels had a certain length, and then you had those little missions, which even the missions weren't that short because you were usually boosting less in missions. RC the King donated $1 and said, so the set pieces argument you made earlier can be applied for the city levels with the helicopters. Do you use the helicopters, or are they just there? Because I haven't seen the helicopters be used. Alright? Like the helicopter in Speed Highway in SA1, that was a set piece, right? You grab the helicopter, it takes you somewhere. That's a set piece. Running down the building in Speed Highway, that's a set piece. That's unique to the level. Unless I wasn't paying attention, I haven't seen the helicopter be used in the actual level design. It's just kind of there. But yeah. This level can also be reached within 15 minutes, as this was filmed after the autosave glitch was fixed. There's a new Sonic Team intro. One machine didn't end in time, so the staff had to manually restart the game. Game was great. Intro footage where he runs up. Yeah, and these are the pictures of the city level. It looks like a weird amalgamation of stuff. One thing I liked about the city theme levels in SA2 is, of course, they were still ridiculous in the sense that there were loop-de-loops and twists in Radical Highway and shit. That doesn't make sense in the real world. And there were these floating platforms and bottomless pits. But they still tried to make it feel like it was actually like a real city. Whereas here, you got these amalgamation of like boxes and shit like that. It feels so cramped. It doesn't feel as natural in a sense. You know, that's a bit of a nitpick, but it's just something I've noticed, you know. Is this the one we were watching before? Yeah. We were looking at audio as well. They couldn't decide which city level to rip off from the franchise, so they made an amalgamation. Wow. The city level is the best looking one by far. I don't know. I mean, to me, they're all like 6 out of 10 levels, but I would say Sky Sanctuary or maybe even the Sunset Green Hill seemed more interesting. That's just me. You mean not layout wise, but visually? Oh, I see what you mean. Well, yeah, that makes sense because all the other ones are old, completely rehashed.
Looks like I'm the only one who made it out of that.
Sky Sanctuary is literally a line. Well, yeah, but all of them are basic as far. I'm just comparing all of them. To be fair, like, none of these cyberspace levels I would give even a 7 out of 10. They're all, like, in that 6 region.
Whatever it was.
Mortal,
Ugh. Hello?
you have done the impossible. You have escaped cyberspace through your own power. You are the key.
All right, let's look at some of these actual demos. Let's go to Game Explain and see their demo playthrough. Okay, pause right there. Difficulty mode. In this game, you can choose the difficulty level of battles. You can also change the difficulty level during gameplay. So that means that only applies to the combat. Recommended for those who want challenging battles and what was that? Searching orbs? I can't see what that says. I think it says searching orbs. So difficulty options are there. I guess it's good for the combat and orbs. SC Angel donated $4.99 and said, the thing I hate most is still reusing themes. I'm hyped for the new parts like open world enemies and story. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are upset at the reusing themes. I get that. Personally, I'm just like so focused on the basicness of the level design that it's hard to focus on that for me. But I get what you're saying. But back to the basicness of the level design, like, because the platforming in the open world so far has been very, very basic, these difficulty options is not going to affect that. It's mainly for the combat and stuff. So that's not really going to help me in that regard, because that's the thing that bothers me the most about the game is the basicness of the platforming. So yeah, the difficulty options are here, and we could put it on the hardest mode. I wonder how hard the hard mode really is. Is it like one of those hard modes where it's like basically just okay difficulty? We'll have to see. Oh wait, I wasn't paying attention. Hold on. So that's the action style and high speed style. Let me read what it says. This style is recommended for people who are not familiar with Sonic games. And high speed recommended for people who are something to playing Sonic games, used to. Alright, is this the highest quality? 720. Oh, come on. So is this the beginning of the game, or they put you somewhere later? Premi versus Kishimo's on K7 automation. Seems like it's the same cutscene you've already seen, just without the audio. Alright, cool. Use right stick to rotate camera, D-pad to bring up this window again. Okay. Options. I was reading that. Go to options to change settings such as the camera angle and player controls. If you find yourself having motion sickness, try using a wider camera angle, turning off blur and resolution, and turning on the center cursor. So you can change the camera angle. So maybe you can zoom it in so Sonic is closer. I think I prefer Sonic being bigger on the screen personally. Omnihawk donated $5 and said they need to label a specific difficulty mode for casuals, not gonna lie, and make a veteran mode that's actually for hardcore fans instead of slight challenge. I mean, they've got the 3 difficulty modes that are there, and they recommend, you know, which mode you should use. It's just that difficulty doesn't apply to everything, obviously. You know, it's just mainly for the combat. It didn't say that the puzzles were harder in hard mode. You know, like Spider-Man PS4, they had these puzzles, which they weren't even that tough, but they let you skip them. You could just press a button to skip them. So it's like you had to choose if you wanted to do the challenge or not, which I wasn't really a fan of that. I would have preferred if there was just a higher difficulty option, and if you pick that higher option, then you get the puzzles, and if you pick a lower option, then maybe you could skip the puzzles or something like that. I don't know. I didn't like the fact that on every difficulty option, the puzzles were skippable. It just seemed a bit annoying. In the PC version of the game, they put it in a separate menu now, so you can turn off the option to skip. So it's better that way. And even Ratchet and Clank PS5, that was also Insomniac, they made it very easy to skip puzzles, which is annoying when you're like struggling to do the puzzle, and it's like, you can skip this right now. It's like, okay, cool, but I didn't put this on the easy setting, so clearly I don't want to skip everything that's in the game. But yeah, go to options to change settings, camera, okay. Liam Joe Smith donated $1.99 and said, which is better, old complex or new simple levels? You mean like old themes, like reused themes? I mean, if you have original environments where the level design is basic as fuck, it's just gonna be basic as fuck. You reuse old environments but with crazy cool level design, it will be more fun to play. It won't feel as original, but it will be more fun to play, right? Like, Mania had old levels, but they were really fun to play because they did crazy shit with the level design, right? You could still go back and play Mania, but original environments do stand out more, you know. Like, for example, Metropolitan Highway in Forces was very nice aesthetically, right? But it was still Forces level design. I could imagine Metropolitan Highway with Generations level design would have been so goated, but we never got to see that. But because it was a fresh environment, you could still justify playing it because, well, something new, right? So, I mean, both are important, but yeah, I think overall the gameplay has to be fun first and foremost, you know. But I think I said this before, but I really like the HUD in this game. I love how clean it looks. I was never a fan of the Forces HUD, but this, I think, looks beautiful. They really did well with the HUD. The menus in general look, from what I've seen, is nice. Right, so is this the Cyberspace portal, man? Alright, so here's the tutorial. This is how you helmet attack. This is how you light speed dash. That was not a light speed dash. Come on, it's a light speed dash. Pay attention. Pay attention. Light dash, please. Oh, there's no hope. Sage Fight donated $2 and said, I like the Cyberspace, but I respect your opinion. Yeah, I mean, you have to like what you like. Don't let me tell you what you should and shouldn't like. I'm just here to explain my opinions. You know, as much as I harp on them for basicifying everything, I get it, right? I do. I really do. That's why I be supporting these indie games that are trying to cater to things that I like. That's why I support Spark 2, Spark 3, because I know that what I'm looking for is more niche nowadays, because nowadays more automation is the wave, right? With a lot of these games. Alright, look at this. This is a light dash. This should not take that long, right? Boost, light dash, stomp. You know, at least they're forcing you to do it. Like, you gonna learn this thing, otherwise you ain't progressing. But yeah. What's this one? Homing attack, air boost, and then boosted wall run. I want to see more of the wall running. I don't think I've seen enough wall running gameplay. Spark 2 wasn't mid. Relax. Homing attack, cancel, stomp. I'm glad they're actually teaching these moves, because seriously, like, they've definitely had a serious history of just putting good, complex moves in games and not teaching them to you and letting you figure them out. Boost, jump, stomp. Yeah, that's a common one. If you play Generations, you've done that before. Dodge. Alright. What's the button for dodge? Oh, just the bumpers. Jump. Boost, double jump, wall run. Okay, that's an interesting one. Alright. You don't like the automatic homing attack? I mean, is there such thing as a manual homing attack? I mean, the whole homing attack is, the whole point of it is automatic. Did they just skip straight to cyberspace? What was that? Oh, it was an edit. Alright. Let me see. Let me see this one. This one's a bit closer. There are 3. Okay, let's see. There are 3 ancient switches on the ground. Activating them will earth a reward and unlock part of the map. Okay. The homing attack feels heavy because of how it stops, pauses when you hit an enemy. It doesn't do that in Gens and Unleashed. Stops and pauses. You mean like there's no momentum after you hit the enemy? Alright, so this is just the standard hit the switches to unlock something. Alright, so we got the menu. I don't know why they block it out like that, like the empty squares where you can't access yet. Usually when maps have areas you can't go, they have more elegant ways of doing it than that, but it's not a big deal. I missed the drop dash and mounts. What, in this video? Let me see. What was that? It's like a stomp bounce thing. Completing challenges will reveal the surrounding area on the map. Once revealed, the map will help in locating guardians, portals, and memory tokens. Alright. Start to open the map. We'll select one of them. A notification will appear when Sonic is near something new. Press D-pad down while notification is displayed to practice the action in Training Simulator or get a hint about what Sonic is about to encounter. So you can skip the tutorial if you want, makes sense. So this tutorial that we saw from before.
Ist okay, dass du scharf unten bist. Ja.
When enemies are defeated, they drop various items such as skill pieces and seeds. Gather enough skill pieces and they will turn into skill points, as shown in the lower right corner of the screen. These can then be used to learn new skills to enhance Sonic. Is that the drop dash or is that home and attack thing? Like, you can't even tell when he's about to drop dash. Like in, what's it called? And like, even in Forces when he's about to drop dash, you can tell. Like there's an animation that makes it a lot clearer. It's like I'm almost expecting him to land normally and then he drop dashes. I'm like, he just zoomed off. Alright, that's the ninja enemy. Zuh. Well, these are basic ones because he's just homing attacking them. Yeah, it's like very little like actual platforming. A lot of it is just running and homing attacking. Drop dash in 3D is cool. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying it could have been a bit better in the way they implemented it. Where they skipped the enemy battle, probably due to dying. Guardians will drop a portal gear. These gears are very important, so don't forget to pick them up. So this is the one that reveals a new area, right? And drop dash is gonna be very interesting to see in like speedruns and shit. The ancient game sees to be locked. Turn the statue in front of the gate to proceed. So another simple puzzle. It means the beginning of the game, but you know, I think it's the beginning of the game. Now you can learn the side loop. Alright. Auto combo. Homing shot. Looks like a homing shot. Loop kick. Stomp attack. Quick side loop. I don't know if this is just a demo skill tree or if there's more than that in the final game.
Noch schneller. Du musst ja noch in die links.
Also, ich will nur kurz Anschnitt zeigen. Das ist ganz gut. Ja, das ist ganz gut.
Alright. So I'm gonna go through here. Side loop in combat. Alright, cool. So have they unlocked the boost yet? Or because there's a lot of drop dashing but no boosting. I'm curious how the difficulty will be later on because everything we've seen is in the opening area. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you gotta convince people that there's challenge in the game, and the only way to do that is to show it, right? And so far, the only thing that seems somewhat engaging is the combat. That's it. I haven't seen any crazy platform where I'm like, oh, that seems crazy. Like, that's gonna be interesting. Or some puzzle where I was like, well, how do I do that? Or, you know, I didn't see any of that. They didn't even tease any of that in footage. Like, people act like I'm being like super, you know, nitpicky or whatever, or just you can't judge the game. Like, I just wanna make this point. Because remember, Frontiers was getting flamed in June for what was essentially, you know, bad marketing. Which one is the one I'm looking for? That's June. We want the first one. This is the first trailer for Mario Odyssey. Not the one where they had the NX trailer and they showed a little bit of the footage. This is the first trailer for the game. I want to make a point as to how much they showed. If you've played this game, like, Odyssey had... Odyssey had 14 regular worlds and 2 special worlds. That's like, let's say 16 islands. In their first trailer, how much did they show? Because, like, when you're trying to sell a game, right? Like, when we first saw Frontiers, all we saw was the first island and no cyberspace. Just the first area, that was it. Nothing else. We see Metro Kingdom. They show enough gameplay here to see what you can do, right? Wall jumping, the abilities, different things. You can climb the building, you can jump off. Then you see the Odyssey, or whatever they call that thing. Then, oh, we traveled to another place. So 48 seconds in, we've already seen more islands than we saw in Frontiers in June. Which, June wasn't even the reveal. The reveal was December. We saw the first island in December with the little shot, and then we saw more of it in June. It's only the other day that we saw the desert island. In this trailer, 48 seconds in, we're on island 2. We've seen another island. Cool, there's more environments than just the metro area. There's other things we can do here. Third island keeps going. They're not afraid of, oh, we don't want to spoil the game. We have to withhold information. They're just sure. Another island. Wooded Kingdom. They show gameplay here. Okay, you can swim, cool. Then we see this one, which was I forgotten what it's called, the luncheon or whatever kingdom. I actually really like this kingdom though, but I forgot the name of it. So we've seen 4 kingdoms. We're a minute 13 in, 4 areas. And now they're showing the nighttime, so like, oh, you can skip. Oh, okay, you could do that. So that's 4 areas they showed in the trailer. I don't know if they show any more. I have to keep watching. I've forgotten. But 4 areas. So you get an idea of the amount of things you can do. Someone said you can't compare an island and Frontiers to a kingdom. I don't see why I can't. I want to play Odyssey again. And okay, that was not the point of this, okay? I was just trying to show off that they showed a lot more shit. And also a lot more gameplay in general, but, you know. It's so weird how Sega and Nintendo treat their respective Golden Boy so differently. Nintendo treats Mario like he's Italian Jesus, while Sonic is treated like some backstreet whore for a quick bang. Man. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but... I mean... It does feel like they know that we're attached, so they can just do what they feel like doing, and people will buy it because it's Sonic. And the movie success probably made that worse in terms of their level of cockiness, if you get what I mean. For them to just be straight up reusing level design on this scale and just be like, oh, we don't give a fuck, you know, we don't give a fuck. Anyway, I'm gonna take a quick pee break, and then we'll come back and continue with the Frontiers discussion. Ugh. Ugh. Exploding Minecart 18 donated $5 and said, I noticed the Night City level from earlier in the stream is City Escape from SA2, not from Gens. What makes it from SA2 and not from Gens? I mean, did they use the SA2 assets or what? You mean the level design? I don't know. What is that animation? I've seen that a few times where it just like flings randomly. It's a really weird animation, but they explain how to dodge attacks. This person's obviously skipped it. So you lock onto the enemy right stick and then press LB, RB. Dodging is faster than normal movement and specializes in avoiding enemy attacks. When in midair, there's no need to lock onto an enemy to dodge. And you got smacked. Destroyed. Who's clapping? You just defeated an enemy.
Yeah, so basically, that one is Sky Sector. Yeah, so basically, that one is Sky Sector, so I'm not gonna go in there. I'm gonna search for that.
So they're going to a different cyberspace level?
I'm gonna go for that one.
Let me look at the map again. I'm trying to gauge the size of the island. Like, how far does this island go? Like, you got this area, but then there's this part here. Like, how far does it go? I'm guessing it would fit on the screen, so it can't be bigger than, like, this kind of thing.
I'm gonna go for that one.
Is that his running energy or that's his boost? Man, if that was SA1, there would have been a chance that you could land on those inclined rocks and then spin that shit way up or some shit. Rob donated $4.99 and said, hey Prem, I saw you had my video open and that is my gameplay, so I don't know if you prefer the one I did. Well, I think I opened something.
Already, and so I could.
I mean, I'll probably go through it at some point, you know. I mean, I've got so many different ones open that I'm just kind of skimming through all of them at this point, really. There's no real structure here. Although there probably should be more structure. Wait, this isn't the one we're watching. We were watching... I'm so losing track.
I think I actually have to play for Sky Sector.
So it lights up the thing. Chain combo attacks. Alright, so he's taking to Sky Sanctuary. And this is pretty much the level we've seen already. So that's the boost limit over there. Interesting that they don't put the boost in the HUD, like in the corner or whatever. They put it right next to Sonic now. Kind of like Link and Breath of the Wild with the running, but Exploding Minecraft 18 donated $1.69. Said 1-7 is the layout of SA2 Sleep Escape. Examples of the hexagon floating platforms after the generations pole that you pointed out, and narrow path with a rail in between. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because at the end of the day, all of these things are reusing a lot of level design. So, you know, I even saw someone saying that they borrowed level design from Generations 3DS on some level. I don't know.
It's a vocal theme. Gives me kind of Sonic Boom vibes, like from Sonic City. Gives me kind of Sonic Boom vibes, like from Sonic City. Sonic is spicy in Cyberspace.
It's like Modern Sky Sanctuary in Gems was so good. Probably one of the best levels in the game. So for this to just be like a bite-sized inferior version does feel like an insult, not gonna lie. Reach the goal, clear rank S time. They don't even tell you what rank S time is. I mean, obviously they got rank S time in that 1 minute 5 seconds. But it doesn't say this is the time that you need to get rank S, which is a bit weird to me that you wouldn't state it. Like, usually you would state something like that. Would I come to Germany for Frontiers? There's an event in the UK which is going to have the demo as well, so I wouldn't really need to. You know, plus it's more expensive. I'd have to get hotels and all that just to play the demo, of which they're only letting you play 15 minutes of an open world game. You know, for me to go to Germany just to play Frontiers, it'd have to be like I got invited on some journalist shit and they're gonna let me play for like a couple hours or something and record footage for my channel. Maybe then it'll be justifiable. So now they got 3 vault keys after doing cyberspace. The vault was unsealed, now can be opened with a vault key. So they're just generating a new platform with lasers, okay? The times are unfinished, okay. What is that animation, man? My god. Why is that thing a thing? It's such a weird animation. Alright, there's some platforming here. Gather Coco to strengthen Sonic. These creatures are called Coco. They seem to be lost. Locate their elder and return them to him. The elder will surely offer a reward for their return without increasing Sonic's speed or ring capacity. Even the little platforming sections, you can just home and attack your way out doing them.
der Boss?
So sieht's auch nicht aus.
Chris784.99 and said, yeah, they're probably gonna add soap shoes in the adventure, but just like in Breath of the Wild, you get the Ocarina of Time outfit for Link. They rumored Boom outfit. Boom outfit, really? Huh. Well, I mean, I think they did confirm customizable shoes and gloves and shit, so I wouldn't be surprised if soap shoes were a thing. Didn't they have soap shoes and Forces as well?
Aber wie ist der Boss?
Well, the SA2 style shoes at least.
Genau, we got through the tutorial. This game is a lot of fun.
So that creates the rail. Unlocks part of the map.
Oh, there's
I mean, they said this game was 30 hours. Or anywhere from 20 to 60 hours, depending on 100%ing. And there's 5 islands. So you gotta be in one island for like 4 hours. So I don't know how big the first island is, but clearly they're not that far into it.
Amy.
The Sonic solves the mysteries on the island. Locations close to each other will be connected by ancient rails, making travel more convenient. Ugh. I'm in the charger. Hey, what did that say? Locate the red seeds of power, the blue seeds of defense strewn about the island. Bring them to the Hermit Coco to raise Sonic's attack.
There's Cyberspace.
The fact that there's no one here to talk to, there's no NPCs, no nothing, that is really
Let's get
weird.
Let's get this.
Asura. Alright, so this is the boss we've seen before, right? Always kicking the enemy.
One arm down. There's, by the way, momentum. So, there is momentum.
Gamer guy, you never talk to the NPCs in Adventure. Man, no heart.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
The NPCs were interesting. They had stories to tell. Remember Mystic Ruins guy? He was lost.
No, come on, bro. Oh my god. Please don't die, please don't die.
Man, why is he starting the boss again? That's some serious knockback. He got flung all the way back there. Try again. Feeling underpowered against enemies? Try leveling up Sonic's stats at the something Coco and Hermit Coco. Prefer to focus on the story. Change the game difficulty by going something. So you fall at one bottomless pit and they'll like lower the difficulty. Elder Coco, yeah. Alright. Puzzle. You just move it in a line. I really hope those puzzles get harder later on. Yeah, so like the open world, again, decent combat. Obviously the feeling of exploration is nice, graphically beautiful, but like as a fan of like platforming, I feel like there's not that much here. They had like one little platforming section on the rocks which you could just home and attack through, and then that was it. But it's the Amy cutscene. Oh yeah, they used the SA2 thing. I think Jada was the one that pointed that out. I think I got a link for that. I saved it. Where is it? Potentially sensitive content. Yeah, the loading icon is from SA2. Nostalgia sells, of course. And then that's it. Thanks for playing. Pre-order now. Yeah, so I mean, look. It's the platforming that's missing, right? It's that. For an open world game, I feel like you need more than 15 minutes to be sold on it. Unless you put me somewhere in the middle of the game, which I don't know if that would have worked for an open world demo, but you know. Game explained as a discussion video too. Have I pre-ordered Frontiers? Yes, because I am a sucker. So, you know, I've already pre-ordered the game. But I already knew I was gonna get the game. So, where's this Frontiers discussion? Okay, let's see the discussion. I want to hear their opinions.
How's it going, everybody? Joey here, and I am with Nintendon, or should I say Segadon now, because he got to play Sonic Frontiers at Gamescom. How's it going, Segadon?
I mean, technically I started on Sega, so it's not completely inaccurate. Yeah, I'm doing good. Played through the Sonic Frontiers demo 3 times. Hi.
You're not supposed to do that, Don. Breaking the Gamescom rules. How dare you?
Damn. Damn, I'll go to jail now. Unfortunately.
Going to Sega jail, where they make you play Sega 32X games for the rest of the time. Okay, so Sonic Frontiers, I would need to ask you one thing. Before you played this demo, how were you feeling about this game, just from the footage that we've seen so far? Were you excited? Were you nervous? Were you a bit of both? Skeptical? Tell us.
I was very much mixed. Very much so. I think until that Nintendo Direct mini trailer dropped, I wasn't sure what to make of it. Because, like, they took bits and pieces, especially in the IGN stuff, they took bits and pieces to kind of string them together. And it didn't really fly very well. I think once that Nintendo Direct trailer dropped and they showcased it more in reasonable chunks, I was a bit more optimistic. Not by a huge amount, but more.
Yeah, because I made a video on this too. The whole marketing for Sonic Frontiers has been kind of a roller coaster because of how Sega chose to show this game off. Like, the long chunks of gameplay we saw.
I almost forgot how big the world was, because we're looking at all these demos. The demo's like more linear, but like the footage they showed before was way more open.
From IGN first.
They haven't even, that whole demo, you didn't even get to this big area yet. You haven't even gone started.
It's just a little bit rough. There was promise there, but it was an older build of the game, which also makes me wonder why they even showed an older build of the game. Maybe it was because that was all they had. But from what I've been hearing now from people who played the game, especially from people like you, is that it seems to be, people seem to be a bit more positive on it now. Yes. Are you in this camp?
Absolutely, I am. I will honestly say that I would say that Sonic never felt good in a more open environment. AKA, look at what they did to Sonic in 2006. And then, like, after obviously the boost gameplay took hold. I mean, it tried to experiment stuff with like fighting in Unleashed, but they're dragged a lot. And I feel in this case, really, they at least did the management of making both sides completely acceptable, which is already a big achievement in my eyes, to be honest. But overall though, I must say that I'm more positively surprised than anything else. I would say it's still a very weird combo of how this game is set up. And you can obviously, in my gameplay, you can see of the things they showed on IGN first, where one half is those open world environments, and then somehow it's this weird shift to more the boost levels of, say, Sonic Colors and Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations.
I think you start off in a cyberspace level 2, don't you, in Green Hill Zone?
So the demo is weirdly set up. You can actually completely skip it if you want to.
Oh, nice.
So you start off in the Green Hill cyberspace level, but you can skip it.
So it doesn't actually exactly tell you that you should do it. You're just at that starting area, and you can just turn around and go into the Green Hill Zone-esque level of the cyberspace. But if you don't want to do that, you can just turn around and immediately go to the open area.
Ah, I see. Which I imagine is what you did.
Marshall donated $1.99 and said, no side quests, no NPCs, no interesting new locations, referred to combat, pathetically easy puzzles, jank traversal. I don't want to know people who are excited, but I'm trying my hardest to wrap my head how this game will be better than a 5 out of 10. Wait, did they confirm no side quests? I don't know if that's a confirmation. I don't think there's no side quests. I mean, if the game is supposedly, they said the game could take double the amount of time to 100% it as opposed to playing it normally, which would insinuate that there's got to be side content as well. I don't think no side quest was confirmed.
Playing it again, I would
Yes,
say.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
you only get like
yeah.
a 15-minute. You only got a 15-minute time limit per demo too, right?
Right. So, like, the first time, I was just feeling the controls, and that's the session that's on the channel, where I just was kind of feeling out the controls and how everything felt. And especially, I just looked around, it's like, that's one of those cyberspace levels. I'm gonna go there. And turned out to be the Green Hill Zone one. I would say, though, that those cyberspace levels are incredibly short, especially if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I would say, on average, they're about 2-minute max.
That's what I've been hearing too, and I know the point of the game is to replay those levels over and over again to fulfill the challenges too. But you know, you can only do so much within a demo space, so there's kind of some stuff you can't really accurately depict in like a timed demo space, of course. But one thing you can get a hang of is the controls, which is what you were saying with the first time, especially what you're looking at with this video right here, viewers, is you were trying to figure out the controls for the first time. So tell us about those controls. How I noticed at the beginning you got to choose between, I think the options were action control style and high-speed control style.
High-speed.
You chose, if I remember correctly, I'm looking at the video right now, just make sure action style.
Yes, I did. What I
picked the
understand
pleb
from
mode?
people, because I solely focus on the action style, is that, like, if you go through the more open areas, you go a lot faster through the different areas, and it focuses a lot more on getting across the area. To me, speed is still the main game, especially in the cyberspace levels, but when it comes to the open world, I think you want to take it a bit slower, especially considering how there are a ton of missions that you can complete, and also how the different objections like connect together. So in the open areas, it felt more palpable to go for action. I can imagine that some people will want to speed through it though. I'll be honest, I think I had a better time doing it at a considerable pace.
I see. You tried out the different. Did you try a different control style in a later demo?
I did a little bit in my third round, like a tiny bit.
So this person saying they didn't like playing high speed mode, it was too fast for them.
But it just felt a little weird, and once again in the open areas. That's what makes it weird, right? Because this is a Sonic game. In the open world, it might not be the best idea to go really fast.
Right.
I mean, you still could go on a considerable speed if you're in the open areas.
What was my reaction to Sonic 06 being in Breaking Bad? Man, I finished watching Breaking Bad like 9 years ago. I don't know. I probably just noticed it and said, hey, that's Sonic. And then that was probably it.
And I'm not denying that Sonic is going slow or anything, because he's not.
Yeah.
But
Can't you choose how fast you want to be? There were those speed sliders. Yeah, but that's completely separate from the action and high speed mode. With the action mode, you get unlimited boost, but Sonic is overall slower. With high speed mode, the Sonic's boost is faster, but it's a limited boost. So that's independent of the other settings. I think you still have to use both.
I think that style is specifically implemented so you can focus on the actual objectives around the world.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Exploration probably is shit if you're speeding past everything. I think this guy's exaggerating. I'll probably slap the shit on the fastest mode and still be able to get shit done properly.
Because
I think a lot of people who aren't as big of Sonic fans, they're used to slower games. You know, like Link is slow, Mario is slow relatively to Sonic. So of course they're gonna be like, I need to pace myself, you know? I used to play 06 on Unleashed with my friend, and he preferred 06 to Unleashed because it was slower. Like, as a platform, it was more easier to pace yourself, essentially, you know, compared to, say, Unleashed, which had the boost, which a lot of people struggle to do the reaction time stuff, like the quick stepping in time, even the QTEs, and that slower pacing of an 06 means you could just take your time with platform. So that's why they put this slow mode in there. You know, like, I was playing Rooftop Run in Generations, and this friend who I used to play 06 on Unleashed with, he saw me playing Rooftop Run Generations and thought, oh, that looks fun. And then he tried it and he just couldn't do it. Like, he was messing up. You know, to me, well, it's pretty much an easy level, but not everyone wants that ultra high speed shit. You know?
I mean, even looking at your footage now, there's parts where it's like you can't really go fast because you're on like thin platforms. You're trying to get through certain parts of the area in a more accurate sense, not just zooming through things right away. Which also does. I was wondering too. It looked to me in previous footage that Sonic had like different speed levels. Sometimes he would like do a brisk jog, but then he would go to boost, and go really fast. How does that feel, or really how does that work, actually, is what I'm wondering.
So, you hold the boost button to go faster. That's the obvious.
Someone said this game is the love child of Breath of the Wild and Generations. More like the accident child that wasn't planned, but they decided to keep it anyway because they couldn't afford an abortion.
His answer, like ZR or RT on Xbox controller. Right. That is how you basically boost, and you can hold it. It does feel very different in, say, the Cyberspace levels. It feels considerably faster, and I think that's what also maybe that is if you choose the speed option for just the regular open world gameplay. But like it does feel considerably different if you choose action, because on action it's still somewhat of, I would say, a more of a jog, but a speedy one at that. And even if you want to go faster, there are still like the speed ramps.
Chat, relax. God, not everything has to be taken 100% seriously.
The booster pads, your homing attack, also just pressing the A button to go more swiftly forward while using the boost. So there are ways to cross the terrain still at a considerable pace, even if you want to take it slower.
Got it. Yeah. So it sounds like the control method is similar to that of Sonic Lost World, which I know a lot of people forgot how that game controlled because it's I don't know, kind of a forgettable Sonic game. But yeah, in that game, he would just without holding when you hold ZR, that's how you run faster. So it kind of sounds like a similar
You think there
deal
will
here.
be save files? I don't know. Some of these big budget games, for some reason, they make these big budget games and they think you will only have one save file. You know, so it could happen that you only get one file. I hope not. You know,
Here with Frontiers.
It does. For once again, this game, it's different.
I just don't see why a game should have less than like 5 save slots. Like, save files will take kilobytes of storage. Like, we're not scrounging for space. It's not a Dreamcast VMU. It's not a PS2 memory card. Like, why are you being stingy on save data?
It's very much objective based, and I got a little bit of more of experience of that at the end of my second and third try through the demo, because the demo is basically like set up like this. You can ignore the first part if you want to. You can ignore Green Hill Zone. You run through a more structured area of the open world, and you collect your first gear, which are used to unlock specific gates and also to go to new cyberspace levels. So you collect your first gear, then you go to one of those portals. You figure out, oh, you need one more gear, and then this tower boss pops up. You use the circle ability by pressing Y, and to basically remove all of his cogs, and you defeat him. Then you go into the second cyberspace levels, you return back, you go up to a mountain, collect the first Chaos Emerald, and it basically says, congratulations! You can explore the rest of the island now.
And at that point, you're pretty much done with the demo. You had like 2 minutes left, yeah?
Until you can explore the rest of the island and the demo over.
Minutes left. I could fight like the bigger boss that's around that area. Like you could kind of see it in some of the footage. There's a bigger boss when you get to the end of the demo on other footage. You can attack it for more gears. So basically what I'm getting is that by doing different objectives throughout the world, you get more gears and more access to more like points in the world that allows you to go to cyberspace levels. But it's very open-ended, it seems, what you're supposed to do. Like you can more freely around to go attack enemies, to collect.
Do you think the lesser amount of save files is done for the Switch version? Look, no console right now has an excuse to be releasing games with only one save slot, okay? Minimum 3, ideally 5. What? Like, I don't understand. There's no reason why a game should only have one slot. Seriously, like, I don't understand why you would even cap something like that.
Collect power-ups, to collect collectibles, and then go to the specific areas to zone out further what you're supposed to do, what you can find.
Yo, Sandcake has been a member for 2 months in a row of the Sonic Disciples. Grandma, you still sick or just pissed off? I'm not pissed off. I'm fine. You know, my voice is almost fully recovered. You know, I'm not really pissed off. Like, Frontiers, whatever happens to Frontiers, I'll be fine. Okay, I've made peace with whatever happens. You know, it's not that big a deal to me.
Find in the world.
I think that what I really want to know, though, is does it have good controls? And better yet, a lot of people are wondering, does Sonic have momentum? Did you notice that at all?
I would say the controls in themselves are really good. I would say the camera isn't particularly great, especially when you're using the... so, I'm not sure exactly what it's called again. I think the Cyclone. It's called the Cyclone, that's what it's called.
I'm actually looking at the footage now. I think it's called the side loop.
Side loop.
Cyclone.
So, when you're doing the side loop and you don't have something locked in, the camera jitters a little bit around you. And I think that is a bad thing, and I think they really need to fix up the camera work before they put this game on a cartridge or a disc. But like the overall gameplay element of it, like using the extra controls to attack.
Yo, Neo Blur, donate $4.99. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate it.
It is actually pretty simple. Like, you can use the homing attacks, and that same button also is used to activate attacks. You can still use the homing attack. You can still jump. There's still a boost button. So all the basic elements are still there. They just added some stuff on top of it and made it a bit more complex.
And speaking of side loop, I noticed that you use this power a lot, and I think it was because like it was kind of the power they introduced here in this demo. That's like the one thing I'm seeing that kind of makes me raise my eyebrow, and not in like the best way, because it looks very how do I say, awkward to kind of use.
Yeah, and that's what I also mean with like the camera movement when you use it. Like during that tower boss, it was really awkward because the tower boss at a certain point just starts jumping around. So when you're doing a loop, you're kind of already locked in, even though you can just let go of the Y button. But you feel like you're locked in. Like there's not much really you can do there. And I feel that side of it, they haven't really figured out the ability side all too well. Like the basic controls are absolutely acceptable and they're absolutely fine. I think when it comes to the special abilities, I haven't I have the feeling they haven't really figured out what they want them to be.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because especially with Psyloop, it just doesn't look fast for one, and like you said, the camera just makes it look kind of awkward.
So they're saying Sonic's special abilities are lacking?
In general, it's questionable, but there's also more moves to unlock in the game, so there's still a lot more to judge beyond this 15-minute demo. But
Yes.
So hopefully, and there's a skill tree too, so that's
Yes.
really cool to see. Maybe it'll be less frustrating to use over time. Who knows?
I feel that all the things on the skill tree, and I kind of looked around on there in my second attempt, I feel all the things on the skill tree are actually different from each other, so you just unlock new.
Feels so bad for Game Explain. All the journalists got an exclusive screening of the game with an embargo that drops Tuesday. And Game Explain had to play with the basic demo. Didn't Game Explain get in trouble for dropping footage of something they weren't supposed to drop, before the embargo lifted? I think it was even a Sega game as well. I can't remember. I think it was Origins. I think they said don't reveal the animations or something, and then Game Explain did one of their classic all animations videos or some shit like that, and people were mad at Game Explain. So maybe that's why they didn't get invited.
Stuff.
I see. So it's not like each item gets like its own skill tree. There's just one skill tree in the game.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And now let's talk about the visuals. You played this on PC, it looks like, with the classic Xbox One controller, because of course. Now, of course, this is a demo, early-ish build. This isn't the final build of the game. How did it look? How did it run? There's only so much you can get from an off-screen, demo recorded with a camera.
Of course. I would say that the game, in general, it ran really well. Like, honestly, it did. But, and here's my big but, there was some pop-in. especially in the cutscenes. Like, there's a cutscene near the end of the demo. You cannot see it in the version I have, but if you rush for the demo and go to the bit where it goes into the fully opening up the open world to you, like, you can kind of see the grass popping in here and there, and that didn't feel too great. It's not a deal breaker per se, but it just looks a little weird, right? Like, it goes like as if there is a new layer that goes on top of it. But from a close-up perspective, when you're just walking through the world, I think that they're just detailing it before you reach to a certain area, and I haven't really seen that much pop-in there.
I've seen pop-in.
Yo, Spill has become a member of the Sonic Worshippers. Thank you for the support. Welcome to the channel membership. That sounds a little rough to even be in the cutscenes. Yeah, I mean, popping in cutscenes is a bit weird because you think the cutscenes are like pre-curated, not necessarily pre-rendered, but in
this game for a very long time, like ever since the first gameplay footage. There's just been so much pop-in, it's nuts. But as long as the game still runs and plays fine, I'm not going to be too distracted by the pop-in. But it's still a work in progress build. The game's coming out November 8th, day before God of War Ragnarok. So who will win, the Hedgehog or the God of War?
Can you believe it? There's a release date now.
I can't believe it. No, not one bit. Man, oh man, this is gonna be crazy. But now, so before we close out, let's hear your. You kind of already gave your overall thoughts at the beginning, but are you even more excited for this game? And also, what platform do you plan to play it on?
So, let me answer the last question first. I'm actually going to play it on Xbox Series X.
Nice.
I don't think I'm
Not
going to play it on
Switch.
Switch now. I might pick it up on Switch on a later time, just because I want to know how it actually runs on Switch. We have, outside of that Nintendo Direct, we really haven't seen Switch footage, and I have my doubts about how it will run on there.
I have my doubts too, because you can say the Nintendo Direct footage looked good, right? But it was only like a minute long, and it's very easy to cherry pick game footage to make it look they probably just saw what looked the best and put it in the direct. Not to say this Switch port's gonna be bad or anything.
No.
But that is one of those situations where we will have to wait and see until the final game comes out.
I mean, Sega is known for competent Switch ports. I'm just not sure how an open world game like this will run. I mean, it's more of an open zone game. I guess it's technically possible, but it would be a huge downgrade either way. So I have my doubts about that. When it comes to like the game itself, I feel that I'm more positive than when it came in. Like, was somewhat interested in the game either way, because once again, I grew up somewhat as a Sega youngster, so I do have a big place in my heart for Sonic, and I want him to do well. But it's also...
Do other Sega games have good Switch ports? I mean, Monkey Ball Banana Mania ran at 60 FPS on Switch, didn't it? I mean, that's pretty good.
So at the same time, I was looking at the IGN first footage, and I'm like, I'm not sure how to feel about this.
But
like
then
the
Colors
open world
Ultimate ran at 30, which wasn't good.
or open level design didn't really work before. Why would it work now? But I feel that after playing it, it makes more sense. And I'm not saying it will be... I can't guarantee it will be a good game. Like, I cannot guarantee that.
So, the title says Sonic Frontiers is really good, which people will then see that title and be like, see, all the journalists love the game. And then you watch the video and he says, I can't even guarantee it'll be a good game. So, like, was the title just there to appease the toxic positive crowd?
I can't guarantee it will be a good game. Like, I cannot guarantee that. But I am more optimistic after playing it. And I think for me that's the biggest takeaway.
Well, what he played was really good. Well, I mean, I don't know. If you said it's really good, then you're coming in strong. You're like, based on what I've played, I feel like the game gonna be great. But then you say it's really good, and then you watch it, and it's like, I can't guarantee it'll be good. I feel like if Nintendo had dropped a demo for Super Mario Odyssey, and it was like 15 minutes of Metro Kingdom, I feel like in those 15 minutes of Metro Kingdom, you'd pretty much be like, yeah, this game's going to be great. You'd just be convinced, right? I feel like that would be enough to convince you, you know? Like, if you would say, I don't know if it's going to be good after playing the demo, then that sounds very unsure, right? So then to title the video, Sonic Frontiers is not just good, but it's really good. And then in the video be like, I don't know if the game will be good. It is kind of a mixed signal, right? Like, are you on the camp of, based on what I've played, I'm confident that it's going to be good? Or are you in the camp of, maybe it will be, but I wouldn't bet money on it kind of thing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Because honestly, from the moments I played, and it might be more awkward when the full...
If the game sucks, are you going to buy it? Legit question. I already discussed this earlier. I already said that I was part of the problem because I'm a sucker. But, you know, I also said that my reason for being a sucker is because I cover the games. So it's like part of the process for me. If I'm going to spend time making like 50, 100 plus videos talking about one game and getting paid to do it, that I personally feel like I should buy the game, you know, as part of that, right? If I wasn't invested, like if I wasn't making content on it and I didn't feel like I liked it, then I could avoid buying it or wait for a sale or whatever. That's what I would do personally, like with other franchises. But because my whole channel revolves around it and I've made so much content on it, it seems almost pointless to not pay for the game when like one video talking about the game would make more than enough to pay for the game. That's just my own moral compass. But again, you know, I'm not saying you should do that.
Full open world becomes available to you. Who really knows? But from the moments I got to play, from beginning to end, I came away from saying, that was actually pretty enjoyable.
That's really cool to hear. I need to get a chance. I need to play this game somehow. You all heard it here first from Nintendon/Sega Don. Sonic Frontiers. He's looking forward to it even more now after playing the game. So take that.
At least you're honest about it. Yeah, I mean, like, let's be real. Okay, like, when Colors came out, I didn't buy it because it looked cringe to me. Well, to be fair, I didn't have a Wii, but like, if I really wanted Colors, I would have found a way to get a Wii. So I didn't buy collars when it came out. In fact, I've never bought collars in my whole life. Like, actually, let me not incriminate myself. No, I didn't mean that. Okay, listen. I didn't buy collars when it came out. Obviously, I bought Generations. Lost World, I got that on Wii U and I never finished it. And then I eventually got it on PC. Rise of Lyric, I never bought because they dropped the demo for that. And it was Rise of Lyric. So I never paid for that. Team Sonic Racing, they sent me a code, so I didn't buy that. Colors Ultimate, I would have bought that because, again, at that point I was a YouTuber, so I was like, I'm a Sonic tuber, I'll buy it just to cover it. But then they did the Epic Game Store exclusive, so I was like, I'm not supporting an Epic Game Store exclusive. If it's not on Steam, I'm not buying it. And I did the same thing with Tony Hawk Remake. I didn't buy it because of the Epic exclusive. Solar Ash, I think I ended up getting on PS5, even though they did the Epic exclusive on PC. But yeah, like, I'm fully capable of not buying something if I don't really want to buy it. But with Frontiers, I'm intrigued enough that I would buy it, and combined with the fact that I am covering it a lot and I will cover it on the channel. Like, realistically speaking, not to be like weird or anything, but like when I stream it, I probably would just make the money back anyway in like donations and stuff. So it's like, why wouldn't I buy it at that point?
That for what you will. Let us know in the comments, though, how are you feeling about Sonic Frontiers now that more people have gotten their hands on it, now that you've heard Don's take on it? Are you more excited? Are you a bit more skeptical? On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to play this game when it comes out on November 8th?
I personally say you're curiously cautious. I mean, look, the problem is Sega do their withholding shit, right? They shown basically one island. They only just showed the desert, like in the last trailer. And from a platforming standpoint, I'm not sold on the game. I'm sold on graphics. I think the combat is decent enough. The puzzles so far look basic. Cyberspace looks like it'll be okay, but nothing special. So again, it's that game where it's like, compared to the meta era stuff, it's not going to be the worst thing in the meta era. Rise of Lyric is still going to be there. You know, Lost World will probably be worse than it. Probably. I don't know. I wouldn't even say that definitively yet. It'll be better than Forces. It'll be better than Rise of Lyric. Will it beat Colors and Lost World? We'll see. Right? Like, I'm in that point where I'm just like, still in that 6 to 7 out of 10 range. Like, whether it hits the 6 or the 7 depends on what we haven't seen yet. But I would be thoroughly surprised at this point if I came out after playing the game and said it's an 8. I'll be thoroughly surprised if I finish this game and went, it's an 8.
2022. Let us know in the comments.
I would even be thoroughly surprised if I said it was a 7.5. I mean, that's like a lot for me. If I came out and said it was 7.5, then that means the other islands must have been really fire. I don't know. Right now, I can't see higher than a 7.
So much for watching this discussion here on Game Explain.
And 7 is like it's cool, but is it a must play? No, but it's enjoyable, especially if you're a fan of Sonic.
Be sure to check out the videos on the right for more topics that you might be interested in. And until next time, bye-bye.
But Marshall done a $1.99. Said Premier playing Frontier November 8th. He's gonna be playing the game of the year. A little to the left. Oh yeah, a little to the left. Yeah, watch out, Frontiers. A little to the left coming out. You're gonna be struggling. Where's that Rob video? I think this one gave opinions and shit. I want to hear some opinions.
Hello and welcome.
Well, actually, let me go through a few quick clips because we've gone through a lot of things. I need to start closing some tabs because I got a lot of shit open. Let's see. Close that. Close that. We've watched this. Keep that open for now. We've watched this. There's a few other things I want to go through quickly before we go on to the Rob video, though. So this is just a little clip. Alright, that's just the Amy cutscene, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so we've seen that, and then there's. Let me see what else is there. Rescuing Amy. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I think I've seen this one before. I spoiled you. This is in the demo, like the first island. Man, you guys really worried about spoilers and watching a video titled "Tons of Demo Footage"? Like, it's the first island. It's like 5 islands in the game. You acting like it's the final boss. Like, we all knew Amy was in the game.
Die Animation ist sehr gut in dem Game, finde ich. Darkness ist auch in dem Game.
I can't believe we haven't seen Tails yet. What's my take on the cutscenes? Oh, I said in my video that I think the animations were better than the ones in Forces. You know, I'm not an animation expert, but they seemed better than the ones in Forces.
Darkness ist auch in dem Game.
What else have we got? Which one is this? Sky Sanctuary music clip. Okay, music. Let's play that. Sound like some EDM kind of. Yeah, this doesn't sound like regular Sky Sanctuary. Yeah, you can kind of faintly hear the music, but not like super like. Which one is this? Experience of the game demo. To reach City Escape, you have to complete a puzzle. The first pick is City Escape portal place. 2 portals are close to the big throne portal, which they couldn't reach. Just like explaining the demo. The ammo structure is like a small level with multiple pathways in the open world. Multiple collectors in the tower. The guy in the pick is one of the elders. Alright. Sonic can roll into a ball in 2D only if you press down while running boosting. But they couldn't do it in 3D. And that's a bit weird that you only be able to do it in 2D. Sonic won't boost forward when you press the boost button only without running. But instead Sonic will go into a position where he's ready to run. Well, that's good that you have to actually hold the run button to boost. I'm a fan of that personally. Alright. What else have we got? Did I show this clip? Yeah, this is like the shuttle, basically. I don't know if you use this thing to travel, like in Odyssey kind of thing, but Eggman Tech seems abandoned, though still better keep on my toes. Okay, maybe it doesn't use that to travel. It looks pretty cool though. All right, let's watch this Rob video then.
Welcome to my first video talking about Sonic Frontiers, and I will talk about my own playthrough of the Sonic Frontiers demo. Also, we're going to talk about the Cyberspace stages. I've seen all of them in person while waiting in the waiting line for Sonic Frontiers, and I've recorded a bunch of them. And for the last part, I will give you some answers of your questions you gave me on Twitter and on Discord. Oh, and also we're gonna watch the Titan boss fight I've recorded too. Alright, so here we are at my playthrough of the demo. Somebody was so kind and uploaded my playthrough of the demo and also gave me credits, of course. That's good, even though I had to like tell him he should give me credits, but that's okay. So alright, let's jump right into the gameplay. So first of all, I've selected difficulty normal. There was easy and hard too, but I was just gonna try normal to like still enjoy the game and have a little bit of difficulty. So I've skipped the first cutscene so I could like play more of the game because I only have 15 minutes to play the game.
People really skipping the cutscenes to get further in the demo. These time limits, no joke.
And I thought I could save time when I just skipped the cutscene because everybody saw it on Twitter already. Alright, just some options, tutorial, camera. And right here is the Green Hill Cyberspace Cyberspace portal, but I didn't go into because everybody saw it already, and so I could like everybody saw it already, so I could like not waste my time just playing to that level.
Potato quality, my god.
So right here I've done the drop dash. You have to jump, then double jump, and then hold A to make a drop dash. I don't know why it just can't without the double jump, but the drop dash is really good. You get an insane amount of acceleration, and I really like that. Oh yeah, right. I did the bounce. So if you jump and hold B,
Alright.
I didn't test it out though. Jump on the buttons and they will activate. Here I've unlocked the minimap. You can see all stats on the top left, and everything is at level 1 because it's just a new game of the demo. And you can see many things here, like here's the ninja boss, and I don't know what these hard things are, but I'm sure it has something to do with Amy. And here's the cyberspace portal too. That little seed is the seed of strength. So you give these.
Alright, this is basic shit we already know.
It's just every time.
Let me skip to where's the Q&A part. I'm gonna skip that.
Reason a bit slower in the cyberspace.
Oh wait, hold on. What's he saying there?
What is very interesting is that Sonic is for some reason a bit slower in the cyberspace sections.
So they're saying Sonic is slower in cyberspace
Don't
than the
really know
open world.
why, but I think you can change it in the options. These max speed of Sonic.
So that's interesting. I don't know why they would slow him down in cyberspace. Given that those are the traditional boost levels, you think they'll go even faster here compared to the open world where you're exploring?
Separated for cyberspace and open zone though. And you can kind of see it's a little bit of rip-off of Windmill Eye from level design wise, but I don't really mind it because you have so much to do in the open zones that the cyberspace stages feel like a little bit of special stages.
All the special stages,
it's way better. Have to do to like completely get all vault keys for each mission you get.
I mean, they make it seem like, oh, you're gonna be replaying the cyberspace stages a lot because there's multiple missions. But like, reach the goal is a mission. Clear with rank S, which you're probably gonna do the first time based on the difficulty of these levels. You're gonna do anyway. Clear with 80 rings, you could probably do the first time as well, like it's been done here. The only one that you're gonna replay for is the red rings. That's it. Check the DMs. Let me see. What are we seeing right now? Hold on. Why does it always open on the wrong monitor? Literally. Okay, there we go. Is that the rail physics clip? I think I played that at the start of the stream. The rail physics clip. Yeah, I played this at the beginning of the stream. I was actually discussing it. I went on a whole tangent about that. But yeah. Rail physics confirmed. I even said that the rail physics were better than the ones in colors, which are kind of the worst one. Okay, wait, no. Lost World has the worst rail physics. Lost World had rails that changed speed depending on the color of the rail, which kind of worked in the sea-bottom Segway levels, but was not really good physics. So this is a little bit more footage of the City Escape level. I think I've seen this one, actually. This is the one where they were struggling on the incline, right? Yeah, I've seen this one. Yeah, they were struggling on the incline. That's not real physics though, and other rails are proven to carry a parabola. We literally talked about this in the beginning of the stream. So they've implemented rail physics. The physics are there, but then on top of that, they've put in a handicap where you always go at a bare minimum speed to prevent you from stopping on the rail. So the physics have been put in, but then because of the handicap, you will never truly fall back, because if you get to a point where you're going too slow, it will still push you forward. So with colors, it would always push you forward, but the rail physics weren't even there in the first place. So like you could go downhill on a rail in colors and it wasn't really faster. Whereas here, you were actually building speed when you went down, slowing down when you went up. Just that the handicap that I think shouldn't be there was there.
One bulky, and I think for the S rank you get one too. I've completed.
So as I was saying here, like realistically, you're probably going to play this thing twice. You do the first time, you're going to get S rank the first time because they don't look hard. You're going to get the ring requirement, you're going to reach the goal. The only thing is coming back to get all the red rings.
3 missions, so I got 3 vault keys. Alright, back in the open zone area, I got 3 vault keys. Playing a little animation where he just obtained the 3 vault keys. I skipped it to save a bit of time again. And it shows the first blue Chaos Emerald. And that cutscene, the bridges get restored because I've beaten the Sky Sanctuary Cyberspace level.
Yeah, we've seen this.
The tutorial area. The bridge restored, I've completed.
Ah, so when you pass the bridge, you've left the tutorial area.
So that all was basically a tutorial area. Here I found some cocos. You just run into them and collect them. They just strengthen me. You can give them to the elders. And here am I collecting the first emerald. He's just like, give it to me. Using vault keys to unlock chaos emeralds. I don't know if you have to use always 2 vault keys. But I think it will add 1 vault key per emerald. So like for the next one I have to use 3, for the third one I have to use 4, and so on. Alright, so now we are actually on the main island.
Alright, so now we're at the main island.
Here's just a little cutscenes showing the island.
What does it say there?
Here's just a little cutscene.
Congratulations, from here on, Sonic is free to explore the island and gather Chaos Emeralds. Try solving nearby challenges to avoid getting lost. This will unlock more of the map and show more paths forward in Sonic's journey.
Showing the island. Congratulations, we beaten the tutorial. Search for friends. Here's just a little puzzle I did. You just have to only attack these torches.
It's not really much of a puzzle if you just have to home and attack a few torches.
Boom, and you got some rails and unlocked more of the minimap. And also got a seed of speed or life. I don't know. I still don't know. I forgot. Sorry. You can also use map markers, but I haven't done it. So here's another cyberspace stage I really wanted to enter, but spoiler alert, I couldn't because I choked on the Azura boss. But here we are fighting the...
Well, now that we don't choke on the boss, we can skip that.
I tried out to Amy then, and of strength again. Here is a little marker of Amy. I went straight up to Amy then, and there was a little cutscene where Sonic said, Amy, is that you?
Amy, is that you?
From the trailer you've heard already.
So they CGI'd what was already a regular cutscene.
And that was the whole cutscene.
A minimap would have still been nice to have. I mean, don't you technically have those kind? You got like a little compass in the top middle. That's kind of like a mini. Well, it's not the same as a minimap, but
I said,
you know,
Amy, is that you?
You can use it to find things essentially.
from the trailer you've heard already.
That's a compass though. Yeah, but it still directs you to where you're trying to go. Like, I don't think you need both that and a mini map. Either one or the other, really.
And that was your whole cutscene. And that was it for pretty much a good amount of stuff you can do on the demo. I'm still sorry that I couldn't get to the 3rd cyberspace level, but that's actually not too bad because I have actually recorded 4 other cyberspace stages while waiting in the line, and we are going to watch them right now. So Beats showed off every cyberspace stage we
Was there any serious questions being answered here?
Here just also recorded by me. I was far away from the. It was perfect because I was right next to the guy who was playing it. Alright, here's my profile, by the way. If you haven't followed, please follow my Twitter because I have posted so many things about.
What is that mod? Hold on.
Titan boss Sonic Frontiers. Here's item about. Please follow.
Most entertaining mods. What is that? What is that mod?
If you haven't.
Now I'm actually curious what that is. Hold on. It just looks like regular Sonic. Am I missing something? Oh, the tweet's not pinned anymore, so I'm not gonna find it.
Followed. Please follow my Twitter because I have posted so many
Cartoon
things about
sound mod.
the Gamescom, and we have these getting my way, but that's and the big colossal Titan. Sonic is reacting really impressed. You just have to hit the rhythm.
Okay, here we go. Some actual questions and answers.
Sonic just wakes up and is a little bit dizzy, but then starts running again and pretends like nothing ever happened. Alright guys, so here we are at the Q&A. You guys have asked me questions on Twitter and Discord.
How was Unleashed loose and Forces stiff? Forces was the one that was loose, and the way it boosted around the place, and Unleashed was more stiff.
Said before, and the first question comes from Hatcher the Great. How did Sonic feel when moving around the environment? So what I can tell is Sonic felt amazing. Like, you had full control of him. Imagine like Sonic 06, but way smoother and better. But you have these tight angle turns. So it felt very, very, very good to play as Sonic. That is actually one of my favorite questions. Here, Salty Seals asked, how was Roger's performance as Sonic from the cutscene you saw? Was the voice different to how he sounded in previous games or similar to how he sounded before? So I've only heard him like in these specific cutscenes, but Roger Craig Smith is like never ever like you have ever heard him before. He has a more deeper tone and a more serious tone, and not like that, hey, I'm Sonic, yeah, you know what I mean? And I think that fits him way more. And I knew with good writing, Roger could perform. Alright, the next question from Sonic32, let's go Sonic Frontiers. Did it have the 3 standard difficulties? I've already said that. Yes, it had 3 difficulties, easy, normal, and hard mode. Second, did you find the world boring? Absolutely not. I found it very interesting and fun to play around because there's always something you have to do and you can do, and you just walk or run with Sonic around and do some puzzles, find some paths, so it's absolutely not boring. Is the combat good? So I've only used Psyloop and could only like punch because I haven't unlocked the other skills, but even though I've only had those 2 skills, it was really fun to play. You just smash these the X button and dodge the enemy's attacks, and that was really fun, especially when you do like an.
Someone said this is the best Roger. Nothing beats this. Ugh. X to doubt. X to doubt. I mean, Roger is Roger, but for me, I don't. From what we've heard, I don't think this is Roger's best Sonic performance.
Perfect dodge.
I mean, his best
And you go
performance is
behind the
Assassin's
enemy
Creed
and just
Brotherhood, but
straight up
you know.
body him. How's the music in the open world zone? Is it just basic piano stuff or is there more at points? So when I just normally ran around, I don't know if it's only on the tutorial area, but in the tutorial area I haven't heard any music at all, but I think when we get normally on the island there will be the piano music we have heard in the trailers before. The only themes I've heard was Sky Sanctuary, but we have already talked about that. And for the Azura boss, it was like in technology like boss
It's a
music.
technology.
It was really interesting. It was
Techno.
completely new music. It was completely like they've never done that before, and I really like it. I really like that new style of music. Alright, next question from Chaos X. I guess a legitimate question would be how long does it take for a full day to cycle around in the game? So in my gameplay you haven't seen the cycle of day and night.
Yeah, I've
but
only
in
played
the
15
waiting
minutes. You
line
wouldn't have
from
seen the day
lady
and night
who
cycle.
bugged out in the game, so she could literally play the whole island. It was like it bugged out in the cycle of day and night, but in the waiting line from the lady who bugged out in the game, so she could literally play the whole island. It was like it took like 30 minutes or something to like get that night, and then when the sunset was rising, it was the pink flare we have seen in the trailer before, and it really looked really good. Wow, these graphics are amazing. Next question from NG. Did you get to play the fishing minigame? Sadly, I couldn't play the fishing minigame, but
Oh, there was a tweet about. I think someone was talking about the fishing minigame, and they like described it in a tweet thread. Trying to see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. In the open world, you can find purple coins. If you collect enough of these, no exact number known, we had 25. You can go onto a throne, like from a level that takes you straight to big. And then it says, they talk something and you fish directly. It's a nice place with a big pond, but you can't roam freely. If you give big a purple coin, you can catch a fish. It's a mini game where a circle gets bigger, and when it's so big that it's in the red area, you have to press and fish. You get 1 coupon per fish. You can use to buy things from big, from 100 rings to a vault to Eggman memo/intel. Don't know why big would have that information, but okay, that's cool. Seems completely optional, but it's really cool that's in the game. Unfortunately, we couldn't record any of it, but to be honest, not much happened there. Yeah, alright.
I have seen somebody playing it and it looked like just normal fishing but advanced. Sorry I couldn't record it. And there's one screenshot of Sonic and Big interacting on Twitter somewhere. I'm gonna just...
Yeah, we saw this picture before.
And here's another question from Hoodie Bob. What do you think of Sonic's physics on the cyberspace level? Because by the look of it, it felt like it better or not than the Forces one. So, I'm just gonna talk about cyberspace in general. I like it more that you have more freedom in these linear stages. It's still linear stages, just like in Forces, but you have more freedom to control Sonic. He moves a little bit slower in the cyberspace stages than in the open zone, but I think you can change that or in the config menu, but I'm not sure. Alright, the last question comes from Luke Station. How often did you get stopped to see a tutorial or mini animation camera pan? I didn't really get stopped, only once. You have seen that in my gameplay, but it's completely optional. When you unlock a new move, you can just press down on the D-pad. It shows on the top right, there will be like a sign. I can just show right here, where you can just push down the D-pad and you can go into a tutorial. And for the second question, how much does it restrict movement during...
I like how they've implemented the tutorials though. It's not forced, but it's there so you can see it and do it.
Monologue option change about it. I Actually didn't test it out. I wasn't really much in the settings, so sadly, and sorry that I disappoint you, I couldn't actually test it out. Alright, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like then, and
Alright, cool. Is there anything else here that we haven't seen? Has this got good audio? I think we already covered this in a video. Yeah, we can't really hear the audio here. I don't know. Sonic being like a blue hedgehog in an open world is pretty jarring, but he's Sonic, right? But because Eggman is actually a human, when you got this photorealistic open world and you still have cartoony Eggman, it feels a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. I would have been fine with 06 Eggman, I'm just saying, like, but they're never gonna do that again because people didn't like it. Alright. Ninja theme. Okay, let's hear that. Yeah, this rail momentum thing. I seriously wonder if they added this in post. Like, if they listened to the backlash and went back and added it. I'm actually curious. No. In fact, no. They added it later. It was because of us. I'm taking credit for this. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I wasn't the only one who complained about it. I'm taking credit for it. You know why? You know why I'm taking credit for it? Nah, I remember now. I remember now. Where's the original gameplay? That was not there before.
Sonic.
Where is that clip I'm looking for? He didn't speed up before. This is 1st June. In that earlier build, he goes down the rail and he maintains the exact same speed when going down the rail. What about here? Let me see this one. Is he going that rail there? Well, that one's got a dash panel, so you're not going to be able to tell as easily. Yeah, that one's got dash panels. But this rail here, the way he maintains the exact speed, they must have heard the backlash. I'm sorry, but I'm taking credit for that. I'm taking credit for it because there is no way. Let me go back to it. Play again. The June build. Or May build, in fact, because they posted this 1st June. So the May build, same speed going downhill. That is not an increase in speed when going downhill. Go back to the new clip. Can you please scroll it out? It's a widescreen video. Okay. Go back to the new clip. Then he goes down, the speed builds up. That's not even the full clip. Let me go back to the Sonic Wind Blue clip. Yeah, the full shit. I want the full shit. Go back to the full shit. They definitely added that recently. I'm taking credit for it. Watch this downhill. Vroom! That speed increase was instant. You felt that. Yep. They added that later. They added that later. It's a cinematic rail. It's probably different than other. There's no such thing as a cinematic rail. He had full control. He had full control. The speed was locked. There's no cinematic. There's no trick. It's not a cutscene. He had full control. They added it later on. This is not the same physics as what is there, right? So they must have gone in and listened to the backlash and added it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Ugh. But yeah, I think we've gone through. Oh wait, no, there's one other thing I wanted to quickly go through. Let's see. Oh yeah, the plagiarism. I mean, I think I showed this in my video, but there's a few of them. This is the Wimble R one. One thing you notice as well, in the original Unleashed, they really just let you like use that momentum to get up. But here they put the ramp right at the tip, just to make sure you get to the end. How do you plagiarize yourself? I mean, self-plagiarism is a real thing. Especially when they want you to buy the thing again. It's not just like quoting yourself, right? But like imagine someone made a movie and then they made a sequel to the movie, and the sequel was just the first movie again, but in worse quality. And they said, well, I made the first one, I could just copy the whole thing again for the second one. And you already bought your ticket and sat in there thinking it was gonna be a whole new movie, and it was just the same thing again. I mean, is that really fair? I mean, all right, let's see this one. This one is a sunset one. So you can see like certain areas where they took inspirational quotes. Wait, did they even have the sliding in Frontiers? Like when you slide on the little holes that was in Unleashed and Generations? Has that been in the game yet? I haven't even paid attention. Every reuse stage cuts the 2D sections. That's interesting. I think Frontiers, I don't know if Frontiers is doing, maybe I've missed it, but I don't know if I've seen a 3D 2D level in Frontiers. I've seen fully 3D Cyberspace levels and then fully 2D Cyberspace levels, but I don't know if I've seen a 3D switch to 2D, switch back to 3D level yet. This is the chemical plant one. Man, why would you play like that when you could drift around the corner and hit the yellow ramp? Yeah, so even the quick step section seems to be gone. That was a basic thing in the boost games that, you know, gave you a little bit of quick reaction moment. And here it's just a straight path. So it's like they take from Generations, Unleashed, whatever, and then they make it more simple. As if the boost already didn't get flack for being simple. They've gone and made it simpler. Let me see this one. Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, this is an obvious one. Yeah, that's an obvious one. That's a blatantly obvious one. Are there any new ones? No, that's pretty much it. I think that's everything. Oh yeah, the sound recordings. I didn't play all of it. I couldn't be bothered to play all the sound recordings. Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to all that. I can't be bothered. Yeah. Whew. Have I ever thought of making mods for games? I don't know. I mean, at some point I want to learn how to properly develop games. You know, probably Unreal Engine, something like that. But, you know, I'm too busy right now to get into that properly. Have you seen the Titan boss fight in cutscene? Yeah, I think I saw that ages ago, before this stream. I think I covered it in a recent video, so. But yeah, Frontiers, again, I do think a lot of people will like it. Anyone who's not as fussed on the platforming challenges, on the momentum, or on the reuse of old level design, level tropes, anyone like that is gonna have a good time with it, I think. Obviously, I'm not those people. I'm not saying I will hate the experience. I'm still thinking within a 6 to 7 out of 10. That's still where I'm at right now. So I don't think that's changed much since we got the first reveal. But yeah, Frontiers is Frontiers. Someone said it'll be better than Forces though. I mean, at least it's better than Forces. It's gonna be the national anthem of Sonic fans. Pretty much released a good several years after Frontiers comes out. If anyone criticizes it, it's gonna be or at least it was better than Forces. You know, I feel like we're gonna be hearing that a lot because I mean, at least it's better than Forces. What can I say? Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up now. We've been here for 3.5 hours. If you like hearing my voice for 3.5 hours, go to the Non-Sonic channel, link in the description. I played Spark the Electric Jester 3. If you like 3D platformers with momentum, you might want to check out that. I'll spam that in the description, in the chat. We've also got Splatoon 3, Mario Kart Slayage, Spider-Man, 2 Point Campus, you know, fucking Hot Wheels Unleashed in Klonoa, Stray, Cyberpunk. We got everything, man. We got everything. So, yeah. Make sure to check it out. Plenty of great non-Sonic content there. I see the viewers are dropping. They must all be leaving to go and check out Premydaremy. Link in the description. But yeah, we're done. People are saying that there's an embargo for the other demo in Gamescom that's gonna lift on Tuesday. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, if it is, then I guess on Tuesday we'll cover the shit, right? You know, I look forward to it. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. But yeah, thanks you guys for watching. It's been real. Remy out.